What's up, guys? Welcome to Hellstorm Wargaming, and welcome to... Oh, Jay just isn't working at all. It has broken your face, Jay.
I told you it would break my face. It's broken my face.
Tell me that it broke your face. It's like
Why?
not working at all. Hello.
I may not be very technically sound, but I know when face breaking happens. So
It's literally not working whatsoever. I know why that's not working. It's because I reinstalled Discord.
hey,
Hey, brilliant. Hooray, this is great. Hello, everyone.
hi. How's it going, peeps? Welcome to Hellstorm, where we need some help.
I've broken everything this week. What have I broken? I've broken my bot, so there's no bot this week. So there'll be
you
no.
Broke the bot.
Yeah, because I tried to update it.
Oh no, that's such a horrible thing to
do. Terrible idea. And then because I tried to update it, I was like, okay, well this isn't working. I'm going to try and use my old one, which didn't want to work now. So that was great. Let's do that.
Dear, man. I am dreading the day where I upgrade the bot, because currently I'm just using the Streamlabs chat bot.
Don't do it.
It's gonna kill me if I try.
Okay.
The bot has its own awareness now. I know this.
It really does. Harder acceleration. I might actually have to hang up on you, Jay. So don't go anywhere. I definitely just hung up on Jay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hellstorm. Everything's broken, and the Hellstorm is over party. There he is.
Super offended.
There he is. Hello, Jay. There we go. He's on the screen now. That's great.
Is it working?
It is working, and I still can't share sound. Fantastic. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Hellstorm. Welcome to where everything's over.
Brilliant.
Is this the great game like Hungry Hippos? Yes, it is. The Hungry Hippos.
It is. It's totally like Hungry Hippos. You basically smash things and eat
with your head. Ow. Hungry Hippo. Imperial Bunker. Venture Stark. Mr. Carrick. How's it going? Welcome, Jay.
All awesome people.
With your face. Your face is
there is the No Hawk Miniatures face.
Yeah, and welcome Dan, who's not got a face, but he's got a voice.
Dan is
omnipresent.
Yeah, big fan of the channel. Hello, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming, Dan. Long time no speak. Okay. How are you?
Yeah.
You okay?
Not bad, thank you. Last time was the Faith and Fury review, wasn't it?
Yeah. Which feels like years ago, but it's actually January. So
yeah, it wasn't that far away, was it?
Was it January?
The crazy rate of releases.
No, it's like November, I think.
Yeah,
but the bar was December. So
speaking of releases, has everyone seen Games Workshop's recent news today? Did anyone else get a gigantic hobby boner?
Oh mate, that guy's called Cracker can get all over me. I would literally, if he came into my bedroom, I would just get on all fours and be like, "Take me." It's just like, oh
put that
God.
cannon where the sun don't shine.
Somebody clip that.
Brilliant. Welcome, Robert Wood, assembling a couple of riptides. Hello. It's alright.
Awesome.
I'm ready to fight any
I love
orc.
riptides.
I'm ready to fight any orc. Are you ready, Jay? On a 30-second delay, because I have a full-size chainsword. So I'm ready. I am Ragnar Blackbane. Guys, have you seen this? I've been keeping this a big secret.
It is awesome. I nearly swore on your channel.
It is
very awesome.
Stand up 1 second.
I'm bringing Grey Knights to Hellstorm 5.
Here, batter.
I am a simp. I'm ready to bat away emotions and other people. Stay away, coronavirus.
Brilliant.
So
I can't wait for you to be at the top of that plinth and just be like, "Get me closer so I can hit them with my chainsaw."
I'm holding it up like my camera doesn't get it all on screen. I don't know where to put it. There we go. I can have it there.
Nice.
Hello and welcome.
Sorted.
This is the pre-show, obviously. This is the part of the podcast. But this is the prize for Into the Hellstorm 5, which is next weekend. I look like that.
It should definitely have hazard stripes on it, because I'm gonna win it. So
guys, what colour should I do it? Should I keep going blue? Should I keep going blue, or should I do a different colour? bearing in mind I was limited by the spray cans I owned, so I was going to do some
airbrush.
I was going to airbrush highlight it, but I was just like get the base colours down in rattle can because it's like 3D printed this crap. So.
Fair.
I also have. I'll put that down now.
It looks sick.
Oh shit!
Brilliant. Nathan says, Mikey, you suck. I wanted that as my event trophy. Well, you can do that too, and then I'll win that and I'll dual wield them.
It's okay, because he copied me. Because I've had these since October 2019.
That bolt gun is awesome.
It's got masking tape on it right now.
I can totally
tell.
tell.
Do it in non-metallic metal. That's a great idea.
That's and Des, you are absolutely right, Mike. You should non-metallic metal.
How cool this one? Red.
Oh, peel it.
Peel it on camera.
Oh, this is the best bit.
Oh, look at that. It's an
so satisfying.
Bolt gun. That's because it's red. But it's not the right red yet. I ran out of silver spray, so I need to make the masking tape anyway.
ASMR taping, yeah.
Did you hear that?
I totally can.
This looks quite cool in bed, actually.
Oh, one of the best and most satisfying things about doing the amount of airbrushing and stuff that I do is being able to peel off meters and meters of Tamiya tape, revealing perfect hazard stripes.
No perfect hazard stripes here, though. So yeah, so if you're coming to
not yet, but there will be.
Or if you are coming to one of future Hellstorm Wargaming events that isn't Beast in the East because we did it first, you're going to be able to win a full-size bolt gun or a full-size chainsaw. I think that's pretty cool, and it won't have masking tape on it. Maybe
it might have traces of masking tape and Mikey's DNA on it.
Definitely have my DNA on it. Potentially COVID-19, but who knows? So yeah, you get to win a full-size bolt gun. How cool is that? What do you reckon, boys? What do you reckon?
I love it.
Colour composition.
I think silver and red is a truly unique color combo that has never been seen before, and yet you've somehow mastered this new innovative paint scheme in a way that is unparalleled.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all right, man.
It's for you all your support.
Up.
So there we go. Okay, so that's me messing around. Hello, everyone. I think everyone's probably going to join us, and I think that's probably it. So we're gonna show that off again when the actual podcast starts. So there you go. Maybe, I don't know, probably not.
Wait, I've got a fake being that surprised and impressed again.
So we're gonna show that off again when the actual. Oh, that was me again. It is quite.
Did you watch yourself on Twitch?
No, that was Dan.
That was me. I thought I'd have a mute.
It is quite cool though. But next time, I think I'm gonna get the guy who does it. He's very secret, and I'm not gonna tell anybody. Big bet, really. He's got an eviscerator version, which is like twice as big. So I'm going to be like, I'm just going to have to get an eviscerator, aren't I? It's like,
absolutely.
There's no way I can't get an eviscerator and a Primaris Stalker bolt rifle, which is twice as big as the bolt gun that I've got.
Is the eviscerator what Gabriel Seth is around with?
Essentially, yeah. He has his own
giant two-handed chainsaw of death.
This model that I bought in particular that's my trophy sword then. But Nathan Whitbread, you can get out of the chat right now. We're not talking about his RTT now. That's it. Nathan Whitbread is cancelled.
Change plans.
Nathan
Whitbread. Go to option B.
So this is the human-sized chainsword, but he does a Space Marine size. Because this isn't scaled for a Space Marine, it's scaled for a human. So
you can buy a human version and then I'm assuming a full-size Marine version of that, and then also the Eviscerator. And I'm guessing the Marine version of that.
The Eviscerator is only in Marine size. There is no human size.
Damn!
It is humongous. Absolutely huge.
So it's about the length of my car?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, just think about an Eviscerator, how big it is, and think about an 8-foot man holding that. Mm-hmm. That's how big it is. So it's really, really cool.
Here's your trophy. I hope you don't have to travel on public transport away from the event.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're going abroad? Oh, I'll just have to keep it myself then. Never mind. Does it come with Chaos Runes? It's 3D printed, so the great thing is you can fully customize it, which is what I'll be doing for the next event, so people don't copy me once again.
Wow.
I do have really small hands. I will say though, it was a real pain to glue this part together. This just falls to bits all the time. As you can see, there's still a mold line. But you basically buy it and it comes in bits and then you glue it together so you can see the sections. But who cares? It's just a chainsaw. So anyway, I've talked enough about that. I talked about that for 10 minutes now. Nathan, you cheeky swine.
What else might you see at the best of the Beast in the East Midlands?
I don't know, just check Hellstorm 5 and you'll see it all.
Pretty much, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Watch it, they'll be using game map terrain next.
Ta-da.
Look at that. Very cheeky. It's all backwards for everyone else, but it says Beast.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a riddle. It's a cipher. It's like that bit in Twin Peaks.
Okay. Are you guys ready to start anyway? Stop messing about all the time.
Yeah, dude.
Ready to rock and roll.
Welcome, guys, to the Hellstorm Wargaming Podcast number 31. Number 31.
Woo.
Pew, pew, pew. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this latest episode of the Hellstorm Wargaming Podcast. Today, I am joined. It is me, Mikey, but I am joined by Jay. Hi, Jay.
How's it going, Mikey? How you doing, buddy?
I'm okay. I'm very good. I've currently avoided death for 26 years and 2 months, so doing all right. Well, a month and a half, really. So
I'll give you a solid B+ for that.
Thank you very much. I'm also joined by Danny. Hi, Danny.
Hey guys.
How are you doing, bro?
Have you all gone out and panicked by bog roll, or are we all okay?
Oh, mate, I went to Home Bargains earlier. I mean, I shop at somewhere.
Brilliant.
I mean, Waitrose, let's say. I don't know. I got loads of money, so let's pretend. I'm not scared.
So be like, Costco.
I thought it was just a meme that people would panic buying bog roll, but like literally it was out of stock, as was Aldi. And I was like, I mean, Waitrose too. I don't know. Some Marks and Spencers.
Nowhere has a single roll of that left.
Where do people with money shop? Like, where do they go shopping?
They have people to do it for them. Thank you very much.
Next time there's an epidemic like this, a new virus breaking out, I'm just going to put shares in hand sanitizer, just like as it happens. Because
yeah,
you do that. I'll buy shares in Kleenex or Andrex. Go with Andrex.
Yeah, and I'll just sit and watch. Hooray!
Well, that's a heroic effort you're putting into this,
bro. Thank
this
you.
business model here.
What an we can't technically say, because I'll get demonetized. You can't actually say the name of the not bacteria, the other group of pathogens. I don't know what they call them. You can't actually say it because I don't want to get demonetized. But what an absolute meme all that crap is. Ever since I realised that if you say its technical name, which starts with a C and ends in vid, and then 19, it sounds like come on, Eileen. I just can't take it seriously. Come on, Eileen.
Discuss it as a beer?
Brilliant. You can discuss it as a beer.
But
say the beer.
You can't say you can't even say the beer in a minute because it's just horrific. Yes, the beer that's lost 132 million in profits in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah,
because American. So the quote was, "American man says I ain't risking that shit." So fair play to you, brother. Fair play to you.
Why? I bet Dos Equis have made a fortune off of this, though.
Who's that?
Dos Equis. It's the other large Mexican beer organization.
Yeah. What's that? Is it you? It's not unisex. It's something else. Unicare.
Unilever.
Unilever. That's it. They've just made an app.
Unisex.
I was like, I was thinking of the logo, and I was like, it's definitely not unisex. Definitely not unisex. But Unilever are absolutely loving life right now. Just think about how much dollar they've got. Just like, everyone laughed at us 10 years ago when we started making hand sanitizer. No one's going to buy it, they said. And then, like, in a week's time, when everyone forgets because they start panicking about, I don't know, Kim Kardashian breaking a heel or something like that, then they'll just have abundance of stock, and then it'll be all an offer again, and everyone will be able to buy it for 5p. So that'll be great. So yeah. Anyway, this is the Come on, Eileen podcast. I was just like, it's not unisex. It's
well,
not
at least
unisex.
you've got enough
it's
hand sanitizer and tissue to mop it up after you.
Have we checked eBay prices yet, guys?
What, for toilet roll?
For toilet paper.
Yeah.
Okay, right, we're doing it. Let's have a look. Okay, guys in the chat, think of your best most favorite or most memorable toilet roll brand?
Most memorable.
Why are you laughing? Why is that funny?
Little Labrador puppy dog, isn't it?
Why is it particularly memorable?
Do you know one time you had that really terrible shit? Then
like, trust me, when you really need to go, it's
Drake in says I'm a
it's not
man of
memorable.
culture.
It's just the nearest.
Xerox single ply. Xerox, is that even a brand?
Xerox is photocopy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's photocopy paper. It is. Really. People are buying and selling hand sanitizer on eBay. Oh my lord! But charming is like it's not. What do they call it now? But it used to be called charming. Then it became the koala bear, didn't it?
Cashel. That's
Cashel.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow. This is the Competitive 40k podcast, brought to you in no way, shape, or form in affiliation with many notable toilet paper manufacturers.
Look, in all seriousness, Jay, like let's get down to business, right?
Brilliant.
We're going to get down to serious business whilst I'm searching for different toilet paper brands, starting with Andrex. Like the podcast isn't growing recently, and we're not really sure why. And I don't think it's this part of the show in particular, but I do think it's because other people are doing stuff better than we are in terms of competitive Warhammer talk. So if we can provide something unique to you, then if it's about toilet paper on eBay, then that's what you're going to get, boys. £22.59. Buy it now for 24 rolls of toilet paper on eBay.
For how much?
£22.59 with free shipping. Save 10%.
That's actually not a bad deal.
No, it is. No, it really is. Andrex toilet roll. Someone has put one on eBay. Let's do a bit of a... Where's window capture? I need window capture right now. There it is. £5 minimum bid or make an offer. For one.
For one roll.
The
are they
description
going to
is...
hand deliver it, and are they going to deliver it quickly?
And is it clean? That's the thing.
One careful owner.
The panic bought it for number 19.
One careful Italian owner.
Andrex toilet roll used but in excellent condition. Lovely size. Double quilt. Gives a great clean.
I think she got to £15.
£15. Free delivery. Well, one feedback. I don't appreciate the hustle from you, bro. I got 26.
Okay. Have you got to pay for
God, that's £26. Yikes.
Don't do that.
Cancel bid.
Everyone bid on that now for the meme.
I have to bid at least 29p.
Damn.
I'm the highest bidder! Yeah! How's the GoFundMe campaign going? Yikes. About that.
Almost got enough to buy some toilet paper.
We need some toilet paper right now, so... So next week we are having the Hellstorm Wargaming Podcast is over party, because we might have to cancel the podcast because people aren't tuning in for some reason. I believe it might be something to do with toilet paper, but who knows?
You're just talking shit there, mate.
Yeah, it is. So basically, the podcast isn't growing, and I appreciate everyone that does tune in, but not new people aren't tuning in, and we're not really sure why. So if you've got any ideas, then let us know, because we are going to actually talk about competitive Warhammer now. So if you've got any ideas, then let us know. If it's to do with the malarkey that we get up to at the beginning, I apologise. Moon Tyranny just subscribed, clearly supporting the bidding of toilet paper.
Awesome.
I will let everyone know if I win that sheet of toilet paper, and I will frame it in my house. Of that one time I bought some toilet paper for 29p off eBay. And £3 postal.
Most during this stream gets the bog roll that you.
It's actually £3.19 in total for one roll of toilet paper. Which once upon a time, when I was a lad, like 2 days ago, that could buy you at least 4 rolls, maybe 8.
Wonderful.
But we are actually going to talk about competitive Warhammer and Grey Knights. So shall we start?
Yes.
So
where would you like to start?
Well, we're trying something what we wanted to do when we first started, and we've actually gone through and done it now. So there was 2 events this weekend, Jay and Dan. Hi, Dan and Jay. Hello.
Hi, Mikey.
So there were 2 events this weekend. There was the Glasshammer RTT, and there was the March for McCrag RTT, which are both ITC events. I believe Glasshammer was 24 players, and how many players were March for McCrag?
March for McCrag, they had
30.
30. Exactly 30. Damn,
Ooh,
that's so close to GT if you take it out over 2 days.
Well, that's the thing. You got to take it over for 2 days, haven't you? Otherwise, it's still an RTT. But yeah, so we've been looking at lists. We've been talking to players. We've been talking to TOs, and we're gonna have a listen and a chat about what they said and what we think about what they said. If they're talking rubbish, then we'll call them out. If they're not talking rubbish, we'll agree with them and say that's cool, great insight. I think it's mostly the latter, but you never know. This is the Hellstorm Wargaming Podcast. Potentially
Stranger things have happened.
Potentially one of the last ones, unless people bring their friends. But yes, we are not afraid of calling people out.
And if you don't have any friends, go and make some friends. It's a wonderful world out there, but do remember to bring them back.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll talk about. Shall we talk about the Glasshammer RTT first, or March from McCrag?
I think we should definitely talk about Glasshammer RTT first because it happened in order that way.
It did, yeah. So on Saturday, there are our good friends over at Glasshammer with Manny and Dan. They are really lovely. Go and check them out. I've spoken to Manny. They had a 24-man event. They run RTTs every 2 weeks, and this is Sean Manny's about to tell you via the past.
2 months.
Every 2 months, sorry, not 2 weeks. Every month they run an event. Every two months is an RTT. Then you run a bigger event as well. So via time capsule, via some technology that no one else can use ever. I've actually spoken to Manny. But so 24 players. What won, Jay?
What do you think won? I'm going to go out on a limb and say over the last several months we've seen a pattern, and so clearly Iron Hands won the event in both first, second, third, and even up to 25th place.
Even though there's only 24 players.
Absolutely, that's wrong. Super OP.
Yeah, someone suggested putting a bag on my head. That's quite rude.
I think Des is just a rude guy anyway.
And obviously we've seen an FAQ, so I'm going to imagine Raven Guard are going to be in the top because Iron Hands have been nerfed now, Jay. Sorry.
We actually covered that in a podcast. How could I not have remembered?
That was last week.
Right.
Danny,
what do you reckon? Like, pick an outside pick.
Salamanders.
Not that far outside.
Jesus Christ. Are you even taking this seriously, Dan?
This is a competitive Warhammer podcast where we don't talk shit about shit.
I'm going to say my Chaos Possessed Bomb.
Chaos Possessed Bomb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was actually Eldar.
Yeah.
Eldari. It was Mr. Gaz Jones, who was actually on our live stream for Game 4 of the Northeast Open with the actual same list, I believe. It was the same list, if not super duper similar.
Very, very close to.
So it was a mix of expert crafters and masterful shots, and a mix of vibro cannons, not vibro cannons, night spinners, shadow weavers, wraith lords, wasps, hornets, not hornets. What are the walkers called? They're just called walkers. The Eldar walkers.
Wraith lords.
No, the little
wasps. He had wasps because the reason he had wasps are the Forge World ones.
They're the Forge World ones.
Deep Strike.
Warwalker. There you go. You don't need 2 days for a GT. You just need 17 hours straight. Yes, indeed. Hello, CJ.
Yes, baby.
So no, you don't need 2 days for a GT. We do need more than 3 rounds. So only Iron Ben will survive. Yeah, exactly. So he was using really cool. Shall we actually go through his list? Do you want to tell me about his list?
I think we should definitely go through his list.
Tell me about his list.
Are you putting me on the spot?
I am putting you on the spot because my phone's died.
Danny was doing this one.
My phone died.
Hashtag professionalism.
Dan, why don't you go through the list?
Yeah.
Let's see if you can do it first.
Danny, do you want to sound more confident about going through the list?
I literally told Mikey I did March from McCrag.
I've got the list. I've got the list. Okay. So this is Gaz's list. It is expert crafters and masterful shots. We've got Spearhead with a Farseer with Doom and Executioner, so pretty standard for Farseer. Singing Spear because it's brilliant. Why would you not? Heavy support was 3 Warwalkers, like 3 units of 1, because with expert crafters you want to get minimum units to get the maximum out of your craft roll benefit. So expert crafters, for those of you who don't know, is you get to reroll a single hit roll and a single wound roll, very much like the Master Artisans, Death Skulls, but you don't get to reroll damage, a couple of other sort of Legion traits and all that kind of stuff. All of those Warhawkers were armed with 2 missile launchers, and they are absolutely horrendous. People will forget that you can use them to fire plasma missiles, so like the Eldar version of frag missiles. So they're still good against Horde armies as well as against elite choices. A really good all-rounder. Then there were 75 points.
Yeah.
75 points.
Toughness 6, 8 wound, movement 8, and then 2-shot missile launcher, which is really good.
I'm pretty sure they're 10 wounds. They do degrade.
Yeah.
No, Warwalkers are 6
wounds. Follow. Thank you very much for follow, Mason.
They're amazing. They're a brilliant unit, and you can outflank them as well, which is super good.
Yeah.
Then we had 3 Wraith Lords, all with the same loadout. Again, 3 units of 1, with 2 missile launchers and 2 shuriken catapults apiece.
Really
seen those being used
115
a lot more.
points.
120.
Yeah, so they're just in mark for death.
Yes, literally only just now.
Yeah.
You could obviously take him for big game hunt, which is probably what you'd end up taking as well against Gaz's list, because he has a lot with the vehicle keyword here.
Yeah.
Then another spearhead with expert crafters and masterful shots. A warlock with ghost walk and prot jinx. Liking that. Jinx is just the most horrendous thing, and Ghost Walk's one of the new powers from Psychic Awakening, which is pretty strong.
Yeah.
3 Night Spinners, which again, very cheap units, 112 points, so they now float underneath Marked for Death, which is crazy. And then support weapons. Now, normally in an Eldar list in the competitive scenes these days, you see everyone spamming vibro cannons because they're super good, and they get easier to hit and easier to wound as you go through. So even if it's a tough target to kill originally, you'll eventually just wear it down.
Yeah, we did on 2s with AP4.
Which is just so good.
Yeah.
But Gaz went with the Shadow Weavers. Now, I did watch one of his games. It was the final on stream, and he really needed that indirect fire. So definitely made the right choice there.
Yeah, so it's 9d6, strength 6, 0 AP, 1 damage shots. So if you roll 6 to win, it's AP3 or AP4.
So, I think it's AP4. It's basically a very small version of the Night Spinner. Just imagine that.
Yeah, just a 1 damage shot.
I think it's a super strong choice. 37 points per support platform. So can't really go wrong with that.
It's cheap.
Very. And he had 3 units of 2 of those. And then finally an Outrider detachment, which means overall for the entire army, before he spends anything pre-game, he's only got 6. The Outrider detachment, again, expert crafters, masterful shots. An Autarch with the Warlord trait and Ion distant events, which I believe is the one we get a reroll.
Yeah, reroll, hit, wound, save, psychic test, I believe.
That's it. 4 shield, Starglaive, and Falshu's Wing. So that Autarch is super mobile.
Yeah.
Then a load of fast attacks.
Overwatch. That's right. Sorry, my bad. You know Overwatch while I trade.
Cool.
I'm talking to Bish.
Well done, CJ. Thank you very much. Hornets. You had 3 of those with pulse lasers, Hornet pulse lasers. They're another super fast, very nippy unit. Again, very cheap, 105 points. So 3 of those, and then 2 Wasp Assault Walkers, which are like they're basically a War Walker that has the fly keyword.
Aren't they? So they jump.
Yeah, Forge War Walkers. Then 95 points for 2 missile launchers as well. I had 2 of those, and then finally a Falcon with a scatter laser and Spirit Stones, just to round out the points.
Nice.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Now, we talked very quickly about this giving away Marked for Death, but looking through it, there's literally 3 units in the army. Yeah. That's it. That'll do it.
The 3 Night Spinners. Yeah. So
no, the 3.
Wraith Lords, sorry.
Wraith Lords.
Night Spinners, my bad. So yeah, what an interesting list. So it's just as CJ saying, attached super MSU, a bunch of little cheap vehicles, the equivalent if you play Space Marines, equivalent of spamming land speeders. All get to reroll a hit, reroll a wound every phase, or every time they shoot. Sorry. They all ignore cover, which is really good. So it essentially bumps your AP up 1 if they're sat in cover. which is really strong, especially for so much indirect fire with lots of cheap camping units. It denies your opponent stuff like engineers and stuff like that, because it's like, oh, I'm going to make these scouts engineers, and they're dead. Oh, I'm going to make these intercessors engineers. They're now dead because I've just shot 96 shots into you. So which is really cool.
What's the range on the Shadow Weavers, by the way? Is it
I believe it's either 36 or 48. I believe it's 48.
I think it's 36 because when I was watching the game, which you can watch back on the Glasshammer's Twitch, there was periods of time in a game against Mark where it was out of range. So probably not 48.
Yeah, so more likely 36, which is still really good because they're just. And the thing is you have to shoot those platforms where it's like so much wasted fire. You think like if it's a unit of them, you'd be like, I'm just gonna put all my guns into there. But if you put too many guns into there, you're wasting your firepower, and they're still tough as 5 with 4 wounds. So they're not exactly.
I was thinking the equivalent of like the Thunderfire.
Essentially, yeah. The only downside, the only real sort of difference between this and the Thunderfire cannon is T6 for 2-up save, whereas this is T5 with I believe a 3-up.
Yeah,
and if you kill a Thunderfire, you still get the Tech Marine that comes with it, whereas this is just dead.
Yeah, Thunderfire is really T5, but yeah, we appreciate that. It's still still worth save. Sorry. But also you don't have any natural AP, which is a bit of a shame.
True.
So it's just base armor saves. Whereas there, Thunderfire will be -2 for turn 1 and then -1. This is just straight up no AP unless you roll a 6. So it's like you can roll 6s. Usually in Warhammer you're doing quite well. So
yeah, big time. Okay. The other thing to notice about this is he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16,
the 4+ save
18,
maybe.
19, 20, 21 units shooting a turn.
Yeah.
With decent weaponry.
That's 42
all of them
command points
and 1 wound.
That's 42 command points a turn he's using. It's really good.
It's obnoxious
It is. It's just that's the thing. It's like the way to do the best with your army is to maximize your chapter tactic. Quite a free roll you get in, and that is like completely maximized. With 21 separate units that are all rerolling a hit and a wound every turn. Every time they shoot. I always say every turn, but it's every time they shoot. So if Fire Overwatch, fight, shoot twice.
It's basically any offensive action, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a very strong list. Gaz has been playing that kind of list for some time.
Mm-hmm.
He's very, very good with it. And we got to see that on stream as well, which is awesome. He played against Mark, who was also playing Eldar. So we had an Eldar off on table 1 in round 3, which is amazing. And I really like that. I think that's going to be a list that does very well in anyone's. This is not to downplay Gaz's skill, but I think anyone that decides they'd like to have a go at playing Eldar could pick up that list and do okay with it.
Yeah,
there's obviously a lot of nuance to it.
It's got so much damage output.
Yeah,
that kind of list on just relies on killing your opponent. So but yeah, as I said, you can watch it on Glasshammer. You can also watch it in action against Mike Porter on our stream as well in Game 4. I mean, Glasshammer, they just have players talking, don't they? They don't really have commentary, I believe, on their stream. So it depends on what you prefer. You can either listen just to players, or you can have me and Tom blabbering away over the top. It's totally up to you. So, but yeah, that was a good game as well, which is really cool.
It was.
So, any other thoughts, Dan, before you listen to the Manny himself? See what I did there? The Manny himself.
We got it.
No, I think we've touched on it, like you say, that just taking advantage of all those smaller units really does, just like you say, pays off. It's just that firepower out.
Yeah.
Pretty horrific just reading it.
Yeah, exactly. So we spoke to Manny from Glasshammer, who ran the event along with Dan. I didn't manage to speak to Dan, but I spoke to Manny and I asked him a few questions. So we're gonna play off some time capsuled sound bites, as we call it. Tom says definitely choose Glasshammer. Don't need my voice chatting about Warhammer. No, Tom was really good.
We do.
Tom was really good. He was really fun to commentate with. So we'll listen to Manny, and I asked him what is Glasshammer and what you've been doing, basically. And the other guys who are on the podcast with me can't hear this, so I'm going to let you listen, and then I'm going to do like an awkward roundup where I accidentally repeat everything Manny said so they know what he's on about. And it's coming up next. Please play. Why is there a loading bar? Whose idea was it to record a podcast live, by the way?
Yours.
Goddamn.
Hellstorm if it works first time. It would not be Hellstorm if it worked first time.
Yeah, this is very true. Okay, are we going to hear from Manny now? Or not? Why aren't you playing? Play, goddammit.
You're a winner.
Hellstorm is over party next week on Monday. Monday night
the
at
Hellstorm's
7:30.
over party might take place in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, probably. Okay. I'm going to do it the really awkward way. Will this work? No, just like the voice, the sound files just don't want to play. What the actual hell? Why aren't you playing? Please play. Like all 3 versions of this play I've got this not working. This is great.
So
I'm having the best. Honestly,
hashtag
guys.
professionalism.
Honestly, guys. Yeah, bring a bottle next week and you get free entry to the Hellstorm Wargaming is over party. It's happening on 7:30 on Monday night. It's also the same time that we do the next stream. Okay, so that didn't work. So we're gonna try again.
If you got Facebook unmuted,
it's just not playing.
Oh, no.
F in the chat right now.
It's just spinning at me.
F something right now.
Please play.
Yeah.
Why is it playing? Why is it playing? It's just not doing anything. This is just
That's
great.
brilliant. It's not brilliant, but that's
F in the
brilliant.
chat.
Right.
F in the chat, everyone.
Let's try and do this the super old school.
Don't you dare
Not
play it through your
brilliant.
microphone. Don't you? I will literally hang up on you, and I'll end the podcast there forever. It's just giving me a spinny wheel of death, which you've all seen. Are you live on Facebook? Yeah, we are live on Facebook. Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Oh. So what we've gotten out of this is that Tom is a genius, and that Mikey has not considered this plan of multi-streaming platforms when the media is on Facebook.
Okay, I'm going to messenger.com. I mean, super secret,
Old school.
high tech stuff.
Poor Mikey is looking a year older by every minute past. Soon
might
you'll
not
look like me,
that,
brother.
no. It might not like that. So what I need to do, Jay, can you try and forward all of those files to WhatsApp, please, and see if that works?
Oh, absolutely. Please cut this out of the actual podcast.
But I can play videos. This is the annoying thing.
I'm sending them to you in the same order that they are in the thing without the question. So read the question, play the clip.
Okay, right. Let's try and play the first one. Wait for it. Watch it, my phone battery's going to die, and it's going to be like, haha, you can't access WhatsApp now. Go and charge your phone. Like, no, stop it. I don't want to.
Oh,
no,
Jay.
Jay, you've sent them to me in Facebook. Can you send them to me in WhatsApp?
Oh, damn.
I know, right? This is just brilliant. This is just the best thing ever.
No, because Facebook's...
I heard great things about this podcast. It's been, improving.
Danny, it worked until you rocked up. No, I can't. Could you...
I literally can't.
Good God, you guys are
it's just
amazing. I'm loving every minute of
I'll
this.
just show you window capture. Not the right one. No, right screen capture. Well, do you want to just see? Can you see under my head? Can you see this little spinning wheel of death? That's all I've got, boys. That's all I've got.
Okay, well, let's move on. So Manny had some great things to say about Glasshammer. Being a professional, I've listened to these clips and I know exactly what he said. So Glasshammer Gaming is an organization that's run by Dan and Manny. Danny together. Don't ever tell them that. And brilliant, as you should do. In shame. They run an RTT every 2 months. Every other month, they also run a grand tournament as well. Do check them out. The next one is the 11th of April. It's a St. George's event. It's a 2-day grand tournament and should be a lot of fun. I had a great time when I went to their last event, which is the Glasshammer GT, about 3-4 weeks ago. Really good terrain. It's all very functional, but it still looks the part. So definitely go and check them out for that. With regards to the event itself, Manny had some very positive things to say about the top 10 players at the event. There's only one Space Marine list in the top 10 of Glasshammer. for the RTT, and Manny's thoughts on Space Marines in general as where they stand at the moment is not that they're dead at all. They're still a very, very strong army. They've got a wealth of supplements and things that they can draw on to give them a very big toolbox of options that they've got at the tabletop. But they have just taken a very big hit. There were players at the event that you might see running Space Marines almost anywhere else that have now moved on to a different army. It's not necessarily that Marines have died, but they know this works and they can use that while they're figuring out what to do with the Marine book now. So only one Marine player in the top 10. There were 2 Eldari lists in the top 3, first and third, and there was Grey Knights piloted by Vic VJ in second. The other Eldar player was Ben Jones, one of the Vanguard Tactics coaches, so definitely a strong player. And he was taking triple Shining Spears. Hang on.
Vic VJ, my best bomb, Chaos Space Marine player, Chaos player. You telling me he's jumped ship?
He's definitely playing Grey Knights. In fact, I've got to play Vic's Grey Knights in about 3 weeks or so in a battle report that's being shot somewhere locally here. And I'm going to get absolutely smashed in by those.
I mean, he's a pretty good player as it is, so I'm kind of glad he's not on the Chaos train anymore.
Okay, I'm literally not even streaming to Facebook anymore, and it's still not working, so...
Well, I've recapped all of Manny's glorious words.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jay.
In a concise way. And whilst it wasn't as good as Manny's beautiful booming voice, it was adequate. Just like this stream right now.
Mediocre at best of times. Has its moments, and one of them is now. I really can't think of any fix. I don't know what I'm doing. Most of the time, but especially now.
Have you broken Discord?
It just doesn't want to play. It just doesn't want to do anything. I've turned Facebook off. I've refreshed it. What if I try? Right, okay. Final call. I'm going to try a different browser, everyone. I'm such a boomer right now. I'm going to try Microsoft Edge.
He's going to Edge.
I'm failing at life. Oh my god, just kill me now.
In before, Mikey's got the Onion browser somewhere on that PC.
The Onion browser? What's that?
Talk.
I've just used Bing to search for Facebook, right? This is how low we've sunk right now.
Wow.
I've got to try and remember my password.
Can you right-click and download the audio files from Facebook? Is this going to be a little bit like...
Don't work.
So why don't you just use the text function?
Yeah, pretty much. This is literally what we're going to be in a minute. He won't let you download them. He won't let you forward them to any other platform either, which is very, very annoying.
It is annoying. Anyway, well, rather than silence, that was a quick rundown of the Glasshammer event by myself.
Pretty good, Jay. I think you did word for word as well, which is impressive. So you definitely did your homework compared to me, who didn't.
I did definitely do my homework. I'm just going to go through the scores. So Gaz won with 107 battle points. Vic came second with 97 using his Grey Knights. And then Ben Jones came third with 96. So literally 1 point in between second and third place, which is crazy. That's so close. Mark Cromberhome was there, came in fifth with Eldar, lost to Gaz in the final. Just looking through the rest of the list, there's a few people here whose names I recognise, but from sort of more local events. David Schmidt, really good friend of mine, did not do well.
Did okay as well, didn't they? This week, did they come fourth or something? A pure Sisters list.
Sisters are gross, and they deserve to be written out of the game as far as I can. Mostly because his battle that he played as was actually Ravenguard. So for those of you that go to events and the event is using BCP, just be aware of the fact that the default faction you get set to on BCP is Adeptus Sororitas, because it's the first one alphabetically. So do change that. It's important. Mikey, are you getting anywhere, or shall we move a little bit along?
I'm so close. I just can't remember my password for Facebook. I don't want to have to reset it.
Oh my life.
I'm going to have to reset it. Oh my god.
Hobo J in the chat says, what do you think of Gaz? I hope you mean Jones, because he's amazing. Great player. I know you mean Gazgol, and what a beast.
Keep stalling.
That model got revealed today by Games Workshop. He'll be fighting Ragnar Blackmane in the upcoming box. I'm definitely getting that box, and I'm going to be painting Ragnar Blackmane on stream, which we'll do as a giveaway model as well for sure.
Ooh, nice. Make sure I've got my meeps in.
You need to tune in for that one.
Gaz looks good as well. I think we definitely need to get Gaz for the Studio Army as well. I mean, he looks amazing.
Really, really cool model.
It's awesome. That's exactly what the model should look like as well.
Yeah.
Trying to work out where you sort of place him in stats. Me and my housemate were talking about it earlier on. Do you give him 10 or more wounds? Because then he's targetable, and then it's like, well, I've got Gaz, but I've got him for one turn. Because everyone's going to shoot at that.
I mean, he does look like on par with Chaos, like a Primarch, doesn't he? And they're all over 10.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably, 3.5 times the height of Primaris Ragnar?
Yeah.
So you're looking at maybe a Redemptor sort of size, right?
Got it to 8, boys. Come in.
Hackerman is enormous. Yes.
Hackerman is in. Right, okay. Are you ready for this?
We have been for about 15 minutes. So
okay, so I'm just getting spinning the wheel of death.
What happened to yes, we're in? Is this what you say to... I'm not going to carry that joke on, but you can all imagine where I was going with
again. He prematurely celebrates.
No, because I finally remember my password.
Are you sure?
I finally remember my password, and then I clicked play, and then nothing happened. So there we are.
So you feel oddly reminiscent.
I'm just so done. I'm just so done.
Oh well, mate. Well, look, that's a shame.
Sorry, Manny.
I wish you guys could have heard from Manny, because we had 2 great interviews lined up with him. One was about his RTT and where you can see the guys from Glasshammer, and the other one was how he did at our next event we're going to talk to you guys about, which we can do now. And hopefully these sound files will play, because I sent them to Mikey over the magic of WhatsApp earlier on, and it's hopefully going to work.
Manny's phone number, right? So I messaged him on Facebook, and I was like, do some voice recordings. And right, look, for some reason...
This weekend, I also attended an RTT as a player, and it was the March for McCrag at Imps Gaming. And I had lots.
Hear that? Except for the background noise, it sounds like a beautiful Manny man. But for some reason, it doesn't want to play on my computer, and I bet that sounds terrible, doesn't it? So we're not going to do that. But it plays on my phone, but it doesn't play on my PC, which is terrible. Screw you. Okay. I've had my rant now. I'm done. I've had enough. I'm so done. We're going to talk about March on McCrag. March on McCrag is a great event. It's run by Nathan Whitbread. He's a great dude. It's held at Imps Gaming, which is in Lincolnshire. There's going to be a major there. It's going to be called Beast in the East Midlands. Nathan, I need to send you a text. I keep forgetting. It's going to be great. The first major ever. We've caught up. Is that okay?
Cool.
There we go.
Shall we try the interview with Nathan?
Bobby says it sounds fine. Should I just play it through my phone? I think we might have to. It's going to sound terrible. We're not going to do it. So, Jay did an interview with Nathan, didn't you, Jay?
Yes, I did. And Nathan managed to record some really good content as well. So I'm hoping we could listen to it.
Okay, we're going to do a little test now. You ready?
Hey, Jay and Mikey. Nathan here.
That sounds like it works. And I just want to say, Nathan, that sounds beautiful. So, Dan,
excellent.
Your time to shine now to catch up with this terrible podcast. By the way, Hellstorm Wargaming Podcast is over.
I've got to save the day. Save the day.
Hellstorm Wargaming is over party 7:30 next week. Well, actually, Hellstorm Wargaming Podcast is over party, just to be clear. The podcast is over. Okay, so Dan, March from McCrag, 30 players. What was in the top 3?
Top 3, we have a mix of lots of Grey Knights.
Okay.
We have some Chaos, and we have some Astra Militarum.
In that order?
Nice mix. In that order. No Iron Hands, no Space Marines, no Eldar.
Okay.
So completely different to what happened.
So Astra Militarum came 3rd?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I got confused then. I was like, it started from the top, hasn't it? Okay, so we had Astra Militarum in 3rd. In 2nd, we had Chaos. What flavour of chaos? Soup? Possessed
Soup
by-
Chaos. I got really excited on the BCP, and I thought, yes, there's a great Chaos Space Marine list, and I looked in it, and it was Soup. So still excited to see Chaos Soup do well, but I thought I could steal some ideas.
It's still a really good list, but I can guarantee you we didn't play Manny because he's running Possessed.
Yeah.
And Manny was running Grey Knights, and that's just the end of the Possessed bomb as soon as you see that across the table from you.
Yeah. We can touch on that in the Grey Knights, because I did a review of who they played, and obviously they did play Possessed in game 2 and spanked them. So
we would be able to hear that. However, the interview isn't working right now, so we're going to do a quick rundown. So Manny won the event. He ran an event on Saturday, did really well. We heard all about it. It was great. And then he actually won the event as well. He played against, what game 1 was it? I know he played Possessed game 2.
He won. He smashed guard, so it was a mix of Catachan artillery and scions with Valkyries. Yeah, so taking advantage of the new rules, I imagine, and the new strats that have come out with the latest book.
Mm-hmm.
Very strong army. Like Manny even managed to take out there's a Valkyrie with a load of sound command. He managed to take out both the Valkyrie and the squads on the inside of that in his first turn.
Nice.
And in his return fire, he still lost 7 out of his 10 paladins.
Wow.
Which is mental. But...
I mean, that it had like 2 wyverns, basilisk, so it's all like, well, especially with the wyverns just being 1 damage, you can't really utilize the stratagems to reduce damage down. You can get a lot of shots with those units firing twice and stuff like that.
They get reroll wounds as well, right?
Wyverns do, yeah.
Yeah, super strong against infantry. And if you boil it down, paladins are really, really strong infantry, but they are still just infantry at the end of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So he played guard, then he played Possessed Bomb, he played James Mackenzie's and GSE player, but now a Possessed player, which is basically GSE that's playable but on hard mode.
He's done a little tweak to this one. I've not seen, because this was done with a battalion of Slanesh demons. So he had the Infernal and Rapturous, the Contorted Epitome, and 3 times 10 lots of demonettes. So
the Contorted Epitome.
Nice.
That's the one. Yeah, thanks, Mikey.
Epitome.
But I think that's the one. That's the mirror. That's the mirror, isn't it? So that allow that if you have to roll, what is it, 3d6 to try and leave combat, and it can also it's 2 up against psychic powers and stuff like that. So
so essentially what that does is it lets the Possessed Bomb get in there and then not let the other unit pull out, and you don't have to wrap. Because usually what the issue is with the Possessed Bomb is you want to split up so much, because like 2 or 3 possessed can murder anything in the game. Like especially if it's Imperium, like 3 of them can probably kill an Imperial Knight. Maybe, well, I think 5 can kill an Imperial Knight.
It's 5,
easily.
And 5 just drops the Knight as well. That's it. Game over. Do not pass go.
Like not even.
James's Possessed though were Marcus Slanesh, so they weren't. They didn't have the Nurgle powers buffing them up like with the double damage and stuff like that. But I think I listened to. They have to feel no. Yeah, I was gonna say they have to feel no pain, but I remember listening to Vic talk about them. He said you don't even need like the double damage from the Nurgle powers on them. So I imagine, especially if you can conceal them in the Alpha Legion battalion, which they're in a supreme command, you don't even really need the minuses to hit on those guys. You just conceal them and then use your.
So that's a purely
Did he have the Icon of Excess in there?
Yes, with the icon.
That taken recently. Yes, such a strong upgrade to him.
What's that do?
Danny, you're the Chaos player. I'll let you answer that in great detail.
Give me 2 minutes. You want to say the rest of his list? I'll get back with the icon.
Sure. I'll go through James's list. It's James ended up in 7th.
Okay.
His list in total was a 1,000 Suns battalion with a Cult of Duplicity, which I think was definitely the winner out of that book. Sorcerer in Terminator armor with a familiar. Force Dave, he was the Warlord, and I imagine he took the Warlord trait from Cult of Duplicity, which basically is
it lets you teleport him, doesn't it?
Like Phantasm, essentially.
That should be
you got another Sorcerer in Terminator armor. The familiar is a super. You get that +1 to cast the first power of each turn. 3 units of 5 Rubric Marines, and then the big boy in the list. And I really like this because it's a great threat. A massive unit of Scarab Occult Terminators, 9 of them in total. 8 with just a normal
double
combi
shooting.
bolter and power sword, and then your sorcerer in there as well. So no special weapons in there, just a lot of crazy bolt gun shots.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had that Slanesh detachment that Danny talked about earlier on, and then a Supreme Command with Alpha Legion. So the Demon King Ritualist Specialist Attachment was used. You had the Dark Disciples with the Dark Apostle with Blissful Devotion. Unsure what that is.
I think that's the one it has to take. So if you have a mark on your your Dark Apostle, you have to take that, and it's basically just an advance and charge for the Dark Apostle. So it's probably not really seeing that much play. It's just what you have to take. Yeah.
Cool. They made a massive possession.
Is that an aura, or is it just for the Dark Apostle?
It's just for Dark Apostle. So I guess if he needs to get somewhere, and he can still hit in combat. So I imagine that's why he's taking it. There must be some thought to James's kind of like reasoning to taking that mark. So I might have to ask him about that and try and find out for my own games.
You got Marcus Ench on the Mash Possession, and then a sorcerer, regular sorcerer, Marcus Slanesh. So obviously with that, you're getting things like Delightful Agonies and stuff if you want it.
Marcus Ench on the Master of
Marcus Ench on the Mash Possession. Yeah.
Well, that means you
so
won't
there's
be able to. Oh, that's interesting. I'm curious about the keywords of Demon King Ritualists and their abilities, because they have stratagems that affect friendly Demon King Ritualists possessed near them, but I don't know if they have to be the same mark or not. That'd be very interesting.
I'd assume not based on the list, but might not be the case. Marcus Ench gives you the stratagem for psychic phase, so it's key to making sure you're going to get off that 4-up invuln for Cursed Earth. You get the rerolls of 1 to hit and wound and so on, which is super strong. And then, like we said, 20 possessed, Icon of Excess, Marcus Slanesh, big boy unit.
Yeah. So that's what he played. That's what Manny played game 2 anyway. So Mark isn't relevant, says Phil. Well, thank you, Phil.
Yeah, going back to the icon, I should have known this because I used to run it. Death to the False Emperor triggers on a 5-up. So
typical.
Again, with veterans, you can make that a 4-up.
Yeah, that's really
and that's almost why you don't need that double damage as well, because if you're triggering, it's only against Imperium, but if you're triggering on a 5, you double the chances of an extra hit roll.
Yeah,
and you're going to get Prescience on there as well, so it's going to be triggered on, which means that unit's going to pump out a lot of hits, which means it's also very good at clearing through hordes and against stuff that's got like a super high invulnerable save, like Grey Knight Paladins and things. They might be taking a 3-up invulnerable save and negating 4 wounds, or they might be taking 3 times as many 3-up invulnerable saves, which they're going to get more through them.
Yeah, and as Phil pointed out, Prescience, not vets, but you use vets as well to add to the damage. So to add to the amount of wounds you can get through. So cast Prescience.
I said Prescience, right?
No, I said I think I said.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Danny, the Chaos player, said use vets. So that was a possessed bomb, but Manny ended up taking it after beating Tau in the last game as well. So I said he was using Grey Knights. He was using a 10-man Paladin bomb, but then with Grey Knight Terminators as well. So cheap Paladins, essentially. Get a few more, but a bit more bang for your buck, I suppose.
Well, a few more is an understatement, because he dropped 10 Paladins and came back with 20 Terminators.
Yeah, which is really good.
All with Storm Bolters, all with Warding Staves, all with like 2 wounds.
So 4+ in running combat, which is really good.
Yeah, those staves are legit.
Yeah. You get
it's a 3-up if you use Sanctuary as well.
Yeah, so. Yeah, exactly. It's just like you only get 1 in the kit, so.
This is why you need to buy Strike Squads, guys, because there's 2 in there.
There is 2 in there, yeah. But that's only because it's a 5-man box that's ×2. Because he used to sell Strike Squads in 5s. I don't know if you can do anymore, but now they sell them in 10, which is 2 of the same kit in 1 box. That's why you get 2.
Could be.
It's like the Die Avengers, where they used to sell them in 5s for like £10, and then they started selling boxes of 10 for like 30 or something. Or maybe they do the other way around.
That's just good marketing. That's
they used to sell boxes of 10 for 20 quid, and then now they sell boxes of 5 for 25. Stonks.
Damn.
So we spoke to Nathan. Sorry, Dan, what was you going to say?
I was going to say, did we touch on the rest of Manny's list? I know he had like double battalion, didn't he? So
did.
I know the librarian was the warlord.
I
don't know if you guys know a bit more about. Is that to do with?
So you take Lawmaster normally, I'd assume, on the warlord, especially as a librarian, because you can give him the I think it's called the Santic Shard, which is a librarian-only relic. And it's super good. You can also take another relic as well instead of that one, which gives you additional bonuses to your cast. I don't have the Grey Knight's Psychic Awakening book in front of me at the moment, but to tell you exactly which ones it was.
Yeah.
But certainly those two are amazing.
I was going to say, what you usually see is a librarian using the domination discipline rather than the Santic discipline, so you wouldn't take Lawmaster because that's limited to just Santic.
Oh, it is now, isn't it?
Yeah, but I imagine the librarian's there to change the tides, get CP and stuff like that at the back, because they can cast 2 powers.
Oh, if you've got a CP regen and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a psychic power to basically give Grey Knights a command point, and also another one in the same discipline to change tides. So without being able to ask Manny or even listen to Manny tell me what psychic power he took on his librarian, that's what he usually used for. It could be wrong. But yeah, so the Santic Shard gives +1 to cast and reroll psychic test, but it isn't unique to Libby's.
There is one that's Libby only. I think it's the one where your psychic dice count 1s as 2s or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, your psychic test, which is really good.
Scrolls or something. Well, tell you what, Danny, why don't you go through the rest of Manny's list?
So he had good old Grandmaster Voldus in there as well. I believe he cast 3 powers as well, or deny 3?
Yeah, cast 3, deny 3. Super good psycho.
Pretty handy. Like, it's like Araman or Tigerius, if you can cast 3 just off the bat without any extra CP, that's pretty handy. He also had to finish off the battalion 3 lots of strike squads, 5-man squads, all with Nemesis Force halberds. So
yeah.
I don't know which one
Halberd's basically a power axe, +1 strength, -2 AP, D3 damage. I think it's the best weapon to take from Sod the Falchions these days.
Yeah, because I used to obviously Toby as I can't remember if it was the Falchions or the halberds that he had, but it would have been the sword unit. So
yeah, you usually take Falchions on the strike squads because they just give them more attacks essentially. So
that's it. I don't think you need it so much now with Shock Assault. You've already got an extra attack in there for So you're still getting the same effectiveness as you used to get, whilst you could get more arguably with the extra attacks. Having that halberd in there, making you strength 5, means you're wounding toughness 8 on 4s if you've got hammer hand off. That sort of thing. So
so the Artisan Nullifier is a relic. It's for librarian only. So once per turn, when a psychic test is taken for a friendly Grey Knights unit within 6, you can increase or decrease by the result by 1 on one of the dice.
Yeah.
Good. So you can knock yourself out of perils and stuff like that.
Or more chance of getting your super smites off, I guess.
Or just get your super smites off and stuff like that. So that's really good.
Because it's important as well. It's the dice result, not the total result. So you're literally changing the dice.
Yeah, you're changing the 1 to 2, for example.
Perils. Yeah,
that's really good.
Which is awesome.
Plus or minus, which is really good.
Again, I guess it's saving on CP rerolls as well. So
yeah.
That's always good.
And it's every turn as well. We're out there and like some daft like once per battle and stuff. So it's pretty good. So his list is pretty cool. It's a little bit different.
Yep.
So it's Vic was running at the Glasshammer RTT as well, I believe.
Vic, I know, has been playing around with taking
that idea.
Terminators instead of double paladins. I don't know if he's played it at an event yet, but certainly I know he's been talking about it.
Yeah. So, but we spoke to congratulations to Manny. Well done. I'm a little bit all over the place because nothing's worked today, but there you go. But we spoke to Nathan, who's in the chat now, where we have a little listen to a little bit about his organisation and where people can find out more about his events and stuff. We asked him a couple of questions. We actually got 4 whole sound bites from him, so we're going to have a listen now. So this is about the event itself.
Hey Jay and Mikey, Nathan here. So, a little bit about myself and the organisations that I represent. So, I help organise, TO and run 40k events for Imps Gaming. Imps Gaming being the biggest wargaming shop in Lincolnshire, which has been running for about 3.5 years now. Imps Gaming runs competitive events for multiple systems, probably the most well subscribed being 40k and Bolt Action, but they do AOS, Legion, Malifaux, etc. We have a strong competitive community of 40k as well. We also have an ITC league running at Imps Gaming with 40 players as well. And as a team, as an Imps Gaming team, we were a top 10 ITC UK team last year. Where you can find us on Facebook and on the internet. So you can find Imps Gaming at imps-gaming.com, where they have their own store with 20% off. And you can also find them on Facebook under Imps Gaming for the business page, or you can find us for Imps Gaming Community, which is the community page with about 500 members at the moment, where you can organise games, talk wargaming, everything like that. I myself personally, alongside my friend Ashley, currently run AN Tournaments, which is a brand new tournament organisation for the UK and Lincolnshire this year, and we are running our first premier ITC 100-man major event, the Beast in the East, which you might have seen about because I've been pushing the hell out of it just recently, which will be hosted at the Drill Hall in July. But yes, that's about me.
Reason number 2,848,481 to not watch this podcast live. Mikey sometimes dances and it's horrific. It's true. Hellstorm Wargaming Podcast is over by 7:30 next week. But there you go. So there's a little bit about Nathan and Ashley in AN Tournaments, which is really great because it's Ashley and Nathan. It's their initials put together. Love it. Simple yet effective.
It's one of those things I imagine there wasn't much discussion.
Yeah, it's like, what do we call it?
Go first there. We call it AN Tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it works for SN Battle Reports. I mean, they do great, so why not? But yeah, so that's a little bit about their event and what they do and where they hold them. So I've been to Imps. It's a cool little shop. I played an AOS event there. My first AOS 2 event, and I lost 2 games and won 1 and one favourite player.
Brilliant.
Because I'm a bro hammer player in AOS. Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag rigged.
I think I won like a little one of those like £30 like little measuring sticks, for AOS, the little metal ones. And lost it.
The one that you could put in your case, take it to an event, and by the time you get there, it's completely every single one of your models.
Yeah, it's just horrible. Yeah, but there you go. It's really cool. It's not horrible. It's just super heavy. But I was just starting to enjoy this podcast. Exactly. I apologize. So Manny won using Grey Knights. Everyone, we asked Nathan. I like saying that.
We asked them both, but only Nathan can tell you his answer.
Sorry, Manny. Do you think they're the next big bag in the comp scene, or is it just a case of people not reacting to them yet? We asked Nathan earlier, and here is his response. And also, whilst we're doing this, I don't know what to do with my face, so I think we're going to have to work something out for that. Maybe, I don't know. Here we go.
This weekend just gone saw Imps host a 30-man ITC RTT in which we had Manny Chima from Glasshammer Gaming travel down and win the event using his Grey Knights. Do I think Grey Knights are the next big bad in the comp scene, or is it just not a case of people reacting to them yet? I don't think they're the next big bad. I think Manny won with Grey Knights because Manny's a fantastic player, and no matter what faction he brought, he would be in contention for winning any event that he attends. I do think, though, that they have shot themselves up into the top 5 factions in the game at the moment, competitively speaking, from the massive buffs we saw PA give to them. Although, in regards to them causing issues in the meta, as a whole, I don't think they will. But, specifically faction speaking, Chaos will have massive issues with them. Chaos is one of the strongest lists they have in the moment. I think we could argue is a possessed bomb list, and Grey Knights stomp that horribly. I ran Grey Knights at the weekend, and I bumped into the possessed bomb for the first time in my competitive career. Can we even use the word career? That's awful. And
I just want to say, Nathan, that you cannot say competitive career. It's just cringe. I'm sorry.
Not yet, brother.
We're getting there. I really don't know what to do with myself while I'm listening to these voice recordings.
Apparently, the best thing to do is to pretend to drink flow and prove some Mike.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was horrible. If you're listening to this, Dean, who was my opponent, once again, I'm so sorry, man. The mortal wound output against demons from Grey Knights at the moment is just disgusting. 14 smites putting out 56 more.
Upcoming game with Vic. Don't forget to mention the channel. We'll definitely do that when it's much closer to the time, though.
You interrupted, lovely Nathan.
I thought you'd finished.
Not yet.
Mortal wounds in a single turn. No army should be able to do that in this game at the moment. That being said, I don't see Grey Knights as being an issue as a whole for the competitive meta, but I do see Chaos having to either stick with what they got and pray to God they don't bump into Grey Knights at an event, or having to radically shift. One of our teammates, Greg, he's feeling a little bit lost at the moment because he doesn't know quite where to go with his Chaos. But hopefully, Engine War, their Psychic Awakening book for demons, will hopefully give them a buff or some way that will mean that this matchup isn't such a hard loss for them. I do think the meta also needs a little bit more time just to adjust to Grey Knights because it's so new and Grey Knights have been bad for that long that no one's really ready for them, face them, and we've only really seen the die-hard players been playing them, and they were widely regarded as one of, if not the worst faction in the game for a long while.
So there you go. There's Nathan's thoughts on Grey Knights. I actually I have to agree that like people aren't just ready for that much psychic damage output. Like
big time.
We haven't seen that much damage output in Jinari from psychic powers.
Look at the two armies that are doing super well right now, and think about what they're known for. Grey Knights and Eldar. Grey Knights are known for, right now at least, super punishing smites, and they're basically GSC but in armor, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And Eldar are known for psychic powers that have absolutely devastating effects, such as, for instance, Doom, Jinx, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we think like the Thousand Suns can stick with the Grey Knights? Obviously, I know a lot of people are doing the like spamming Demon Princes, Araman, Sorcerers, and Terminator armor because they're all getting those smites off at least on 5. So I just don't think, from the sounds of it, they actually put out the same kind of power, or they have the staying power even.
I think with Thousand Suns, they don't have enough units that can do enough on the board. The thing is, with a strike squad, they have bolters, they have halberds, and they have psychic powers. Whereas with Thousand Suns, like Rubric Marines, they have bolters, which are better than Grey Knights. However, they don't get as many shots, but they're not that great in combat. And their psychic powers is the damage output is probably about the same. It's a better smite, for example. But they have so much more interesting powers. They don't have like Vortex, for example, but they have other powers that are very similar. They can still put out quite a few mortal wounds. But I think with Grey Knights is that they have the access to such a powerful bomb unit of the Paladins that Scarab Occult don't quite hit the mark in comparison. Yeah. So I think the characters are comparable. I'm going to ask you guys to come in and disagree with me or agree with me afterwards. I think the characters are quite comparable with Grey Knights and Thousand Suns. But I don't think they have enough of the other little units that are cheap enough to make battalions and stuff like that to play a solo army that can compete with something like Grey Knights.
So I agree with a lot of what you just said. I got a few things to add to it. Thousand Suns are crazily durable, especially against one damage weaponry, which is immense, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But what they don't have that the Grey Knights do, and it's one of the things that's led me to pick up a Grey Knights army, is you've got crazy maneuverability with Grey Knights.
Yeah, because you've got Gate of Infinity. Yeah, this is true. I mean, you can obviously deep strike Rubric Marines now, which is amazing. Grey Knights can already deep strike, but you can't once they're on the board, that's it, and they're actually really slow. They move
like Dark Matter Crystal is once per game as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So
and you don't want to throw that away on a unit that's just going to get you an objective.
Yeah, it's a combat potential, right? It's for 30 Zangors, or what it used to be, or might be like 10 Scarab Terminators now, because they need to shoot something. But the thing is with Thousand Suns, they have access to so much because they're in Chaos. They are such soup buddies right now, which is just great.
I want to see what the Disco Lord does to a squad of 10 Paladins now, because I know what it used to do for Flawless Host, but I want to see what it does, because I imagine...
What it does is die, mate.
Stratagems. It's not going to do anything compared to what I used to do with it.
If it gets to free up invuln save doing -1 damage, jackal and he gets smitten to death.
Every time you kill one, it kills you back because they fight as they die, and you can only win them on a 4+. So you kill 2 and they kill you. So it is pretty crazy. Like I said, people just aren't ready for it. I think that's what it is with Grey Knights. Like people aren't ready for a mass deep striking psychic heavy army. Like people are ready for a deep striking army. They're ready for that. They've been playing that a long time. People are ready for a. I think we've just been attacked.
We have just been attacked. And we clearly weren't ready for that.
Dubrock. Dubrock. Oh my god, we've been attacked by the orcs. Welcome, Gazkul's minions. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for the raid. I have no idea who raided because it all happened very fast.
Chapter Master Valrak.
Is it Valrak again?
It is. He's an absolute boss.
It's the meme stealer. Bolt everything down. He's a worse blood raven than I am. Thank you very much, Valrak, for the host, for the raid. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I don't see Valrak. I didn't get a raid. There we go. We got a host from Kimberly Harty. This stream belongs to me. All memes. Well, guess what, Valrak? You can have it. You can have the podcast because it's the Hellstorm Wargaming Podcast. It's over party next Monday night at 7:30. It's the end. It's all over.
Terrible.
Mouth Throne, thank you very much for follow. Welcome, everyone. We're talking about competitive Warhammer and competitive Grey Knights and generally failing at trying to do anything technical. Adron, thank you very much for follow.
I like how you lumped both Danny and I in that. That's on you, brother.
World Cash, thank you for follow. John, thank you very much for follow. I'm running out of follows.
I just brought the bad luck, haven't I, today?
Rogue Paint's
well, it's the first stream we've done with you, and we've had technical difficulties, so yes. I wouldn't say the two are connected. Daniel?
Does this mean you're going to make some new bat reps? I mean, there's a bat rep coming out Friday. I'm actually holding it. I could have released it today, but I didn't want to because I hate everybody. It's actually on YouTube already. John, thank you very much for follow. So we're talking about competitive Grey Knights. So I'm going to try and finish my sentence if I can remember where it was. It's gone. Yeah, people aren't ready for a heavy, deep striking, psychic heavy Grey Knight army. Yeah. They just don't know how to do with it yet. It's just taking them by surprise. And the thing is that the Paladin bomb can shoot through walls. It can charge because it's really good in combat. It really nails the kill. How easy can you crump a Grey Knight? Relatively easily if you're an orc.
Yeah, as long as he's not wearing Terminator armor, I'd say you're pretty good to go, man.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, I think because everyone jumped onto the demon heavy possessed bomb, like that was doing rounds. You saw people like Mackenzie jumping onto it. Vic was having great success with it. Harrison took it to Vegas, and then all of a sudden this book's just come in and it's just like KO'd that completely.
Yeah. Serac of the Edge has just donated £2. Thank you very much. It says second raid here. Keep up the good work, lads. But thank you very much. I apologise that text to speech isn't on. I did turn it off because I'm a terrible human being, just like Jay. Have you tried?
I didn't turn mine off. I just didn't turn it on in the first place.
No, exactly. Thank you very much, everyone tuning in. Really appreciate Barak for raiding us there. That was really cool of you. But yeah, obviously you can make sure you're going to give Barak a follow. Don't watch his meme review because it's just look at my Twitter because you get it 2 days before.
Wow. Shade.
It is.
Juicy Violet being thrown there.
Juicy Violet everywhere. It is not lies. It literally says at the start of the video, Barak, you say to the camera, I got all these off Hellstorm's Twitter. It's like, so I don't think it's a lie. Barak acting like a blood raven then, yeah, exactly. You can't discover Twitter. Twitter is already on the map.
Brilliant.
So, anyway, at this event, we're talking about March from a Crag, which is a RTT, which stands for Rogue Trader Tournament. It's a super tiny event in Imps Gaming in Lincolnshire. There were no Space Marine players in the top 10. Do we think that the FAQ killed them, or is this just a pause while people figure out a brand new list? And we're going to listen to Nathan, who's going to tell us all about it, and I'm going to do my high-tech listening device for Jay and Dan.
Surprisingly, at the weekend, our RTT saw no Space Marine players actually make it into the top 10 of attendees after 3 games. Now, do we think this is because the FAQs killed them, or it's just a pause while people figure out what new Marine lists they can make post-FAQ? Now, I don't think the FAQs killed them all. I still think they're one of the best armies out there with access to some of the best tech in the game. You've still got the core codex, which is huge and has so many options. And then you still have 6 supplements alongside that as well, giving you access to more stratagems, relics, and warlord traits than any other faction has in the game. So while they definitely have, while the lists definitely have to change due to the FAQ, it's definitely not killed Marines as a faction. Personally, I think we'll see a shift more towards mixed chapter Space Marine lists. So we'll see a mix of RG, Iron Hands, and Imperial Fists. I can't even remember what they're called then. To take the best bits from all 3 now, because your super doctrines don't matter as much now that you can't use them every single turn in the game. I definitely feel, though, that the FAQ has pushed Raven Guard right to the top spot of Marine factions. While they lost access to Master of Ambush with RG Centurions, which was stupid in the first place, they still are phenomenally strong, and that hit, while it was a little bit of a hit, wasn't significant at all. And a lot of RG factions, they don't really need their super doctrine, and they don't get it until turn 2 anyway, and a lot of the time that's when they're throwing in all their Centurions, and as long as they've got access to the tactical doctrine on all the weapon fire from the Centurions, the job's done. They don't need to worry about it anymore. I do think we'll see a drop in Marine players though, because they're definitely nowhere near as point and click anymore, and they're not the auto win that they could be before the FAQ. So I definitely think we'll see a reduction in Marine players at events. But overall, I still think we'll see Marines podiuming at events regularly, and I still think they'll be winning events as well, but it's just not going to be as impressive as it was before. For example, Mike Porter still took Iron Hands to second place at the NEO that we just recently had in Newcastle that Hellstorm streamed. But then you could argue that's the player rather than the army, because we all know Mike Porter is a fantastic player as well.
There you go. Space Marines are rubbish, basically, says Nathan.
I don't think that's quite what he said.
He basically said they're rubbish.
Yeah.
Everyone should stop playing them. But yeah, like, the best players are going to keep playing Space Marines, but
yeah,
this weird phase, well, this weird 6 months where, no offense to anyone who took home a trophy in the past 6 months, but this past 6 months we had lots of nobodies winning events with Iron Hands. It's ended. The time has ended.
So I'm going to say something relatively controversial,
okay.
and I think I said something like this last time.
Look, my show, thank you for following.
You're going to see players that are good players continue to win events with Space Marines.
Yeah.
Because they're good players,
mm-hmm.
and they know what to do. And one of those good players will come up with a list that works well in the hands of somebody that doesn't have the same skill level that's required to pilot a list that is a very toolboxy, adaptive list. And as soon as somebody does that, everyone will play Space Marines again.
Yeah. How is that controversial and not just a fact?
Because there's going to be some salty in the stream or listening to this podcast and be like, I don't do that. I've had edition, but only really for the last 6 months.
Oh no, people have slowly stopped playing Space Marines and nobody shed a tear, says Pink Amina.
It does mean one thing though, Mikey.
What?
You've got a lot better chance now to get best in faction Space Marine this year.
That's
especially since Manny's been running Grey Knights for so long.
Yeah, exactly. So if I just play any other faction, like Space Marines, because everyone's going to not play them, I'm basically just competing with Mike Porter. Hooray!
You can't not play Space Marines anymore as well, because people would think you were just bandwagoning.
Yeah.
Because I know you said to me that you were thinking about taking a different army this year.
Yeah,
possibly for your own internal contest. And now you can't not take Space Marines because everyone will know you're a filthy power gamer.
Yeah, but everyone will just think I'm a last year's power gamer because I'm still playing Space Marines. They'll be like, oh my god, then why isn't this guy playing the new Honda?
You're on satellite delay.
Yeah, just like that person
you've got
who's
good
still
company in Porter though.
Yeah.
Try and take off top.
That guy was still trying to run Yanari. And like, yeah, they're definitely broken. Don't worry. And it's like, no, they've got like a 20% win rate. Also, a good chance to get Space Marines off eBay. Yeah, exactly.
Do you even need any more Marines?
No.
Marines and toilet roll, eBay.
Oh yeah, speaking
And
of which,
it's
shall we
come
check
full
up?
circle.
By the way, guys, if you've just joined in, I'll show you. I actually bid on some toilet paper earlier. I put 35p in. I'm currently the top bidder. Let me just refresh that. I've been outbid!
Damn. Someone was more desperate to wipe their bum than you were.
I got outbid. I think I put 29p. Maybe.
Put
So
a fiver.
A fiver? I've not
Go on,
made
do
the
it.
money. I've not made the money. How much I bid, guys? Chat.
Swap a £5 note for a...
Most common
You know.
answer in the chat the next 30 seconds will be how much I bid. That sheet of paper is going to be gold worth in a few days. 5 pence, says Mohawk J.
That's pounds.
It's not. There's no pound sign, sorry. 4.20, everyone. So I'm not bidding £4.20. It's got to be less than 50p.
Apparently, you need to pay
okay.
£4.20 per sheet for bog roll.
Okay, I'm going to pay 69p. How about that? That is a good meme. That's meme worthy. 69p. Is that okay?
Outbid instantly. Someone's put a quid on this, I bet you.
Is that okay? 69p. That is a meme as well. And then eventually,
You said the most common answer in the stream is what you do in the stream.
I'm not putting £4.20 on a sheet of paper.
But you said
I'm putting bid.
You can't make promises, especially about Twitch streams, and not follow through on them, Mikey, with 1,000 followers.
I can't follow through. That's why I need toilet paper.
Or do you need it because you have followed through?
If someone donates a £5, I'll put it on this toilet paper. How about that? I mean, that's fair.
God.
420. Oh my god.
Can we have it as one of the prizes for Hellstorm 5?
It's a raffle prize. No. I've got it. I've got it. This is what George's best sport prize is going to be printed on.
Average Jonas gets a piece of toilet paper. Everyone said 420, haven't they? I don't want to bid £4.20 on one sheet of toilet paper.
Well, you've got to do it, dude. You rip your mouth, wrote a check, your ass can't cash.
Hendop says I can bid £1.30 which is £4.20 with postage, which I'm very happy to do. Boom.
Wow.
I've been outbid.
You have saved his literal
Tom Brammer has just donated £5.
Well, you've got to do it now. That's two things you said.
Okay, fiver. I've been outbid. It's a £5.50. What? It's actually the latest Grey Knight list on the other side. That's why it's relevant to the competitive Warhammer podcast.
Brilliant. Manny's written the secrets to how to win in Grey Knights at an RTT.
I've just bumped that to £5.50. So, I mean, if anyone wants to raise the stakes, I could bid £429.69 for the Omega meme. I could, to be fair, but also I don't want to pay £420 for a piece of paper. I don't actually have a lot of money. And don't forget our new camera, which is in the description. I would say ! GoFundMe, but it's broken. But there you go. Does
anything work on this podcast anymore?
No, it's over. That's it. That's why it's over.
Best podcast.
The last episode of the podcast is next week, episode 32.
Right.
10 away from the live.
What do you guys want to see on next week's podcast? Then is the real question, isn't it?
Shall we listen to the last soundbite from Nathan?
That one sheet of toilet roll.
We're gonna have one last listen to Nathan.
Dox everyone, you dick. Get WhatsApp off the screen.
It's just what you said. It's fine. There's no phone numbers on there. It's fine. I'm a numpty. Okay. What else do you have, guys, planned for the future?
So what do we have planned for the future? Well, Imps regularly run events for all game systems, as I've said before. 40k, AOS, Bolt Action, Legion, Malifaux, so on and so forth. Our next 40k event is a 2-day GT on the 2nd and 3rd of May. It has places for 40 people, 2 games, 2 days, 5 games, as you would expect with a GT. We regularly sell out on these GTs, so if you want to get a ticket, act fast. You can find the event on Imps Gaming Facebook page, and that's where you'll find information about every event that Imps Gaming run. So give them a follow on Facebook, give them a like, and they run events all year, every month. So if you're not just a 40k player, it's a great place to follow. Personally, for myself and Ash and AN tournaments, we are running our very first ITC 100-man major in Lincoln. Now, this is Lincoln and Lincolnshire's very first ITC major event, and it's called the Beast in the East Midlands. You can find it on Facebook by following the AN Tournaments page, or you can find the event called the Beast in the East Midlands, and this will be on the 25th and 26th of July in Lincoln. It's at the Drill Hall. Fantastic venue. It's going to be 100 players, and we are looking at 6 rounds over the 2 days as well. Still not quite sure on the game split, 4 and 2 or 3 and 3, but we are running polls with the community at the moment to see what suits the majority. So we're very community run and driven. We want to try and please as many people as possible. Can't please everyone though, and we know that, which is always unfortunate. But it's going to be a fantastic event. We've got a fantastic community. We've got 35 tickets already sold and the venue locked down. There's a cafe bar that will be open the entire duration of the event, and the venue itself is in Lincoln City Centre as well. So if you want to go out and grab lunch, it's super easy. There's hotels within walking distance, and Lincoln's a fantastic night out. I'm pretty sure if you hit up Dale Campbell of Imps Gaming, I think he's trying to organise a little bit of a bar crawl on the Saturday night as well for those that like a drink. So feel free to find him and ask him about that. But if you want to know anything else, you can contact the AN Tournaments page or myself or Ash directly on Facebook. And Mikey and Jay, thank you for this opportunity and this interview. Great chatting to you guys. Cheers.
And it definitely said Dan as well. It did.
And it did, definitely. We all heard that in exactly the same accent it's used for the show.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Nathan. I'm really sorry that we couldn't get Manny on to talk because that just doesn't want to work. But yeah, so they've got a big event coming up, Beast in the East, which should be good. I swear for God, for a sec there was a GoFundMe for the sheet of paper. No, that's actually what we're trying
that
to raise.
wasn't event coverage. That was your arse coverage.
that's the we're trying to GoFundMe. So I'm actually using that GoFundMe money to bid on this toilet paper right now. So sorry about doxing everyone in the stream. It's just Jay basically, not much in there. So do we think Grey Knights are the big bad? No. They are really good though if they're in the right hands. It should be interesting to see what Saga the Beast does, whether that brings orcs back to being competitive.
Or if we get tank raging, that we get all these Manny who's been playing Space Wolves for as long as...
It's been running Paladin since the dawn of time for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Space Wolves are broken, then everyone will be playing them. I wonder if there'll be a day one FAQ for Saga of the Beast. I wonder if it got printed before or after the FAQ for Doctrines. Whether they even get
I just hope they've put his flipping points values in this time.
Oh, do you think they put the Waller tricks in there that they had to print out last time?
I think it would be really
So
nice
bad.
if they have.
Yeah.
It's going to be something not quite 100% accurate. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately predictable and depressing enough now.
How much have I bid on the toilet paper, boys?
£35.47. No, £34.57.
I want to know
Because
who the
that's
winning
leaks
bidder
bid.
is.
I don't know. Who knows?
Someone that's really, really in
There's
need
still
right now.
5
Is all I'm going to
days left.
say.
There's still 5 days. Bid my soul. Does that work? My soul. Submit bid. You must bid at least
No,
£6.
it's for your arsehole.
And enter a valid amount. Sadly, my soul is not a valid amount. There you go.
Wow.
Wow, so this has been the Hellstorm Wargaming Podcast. I hope everyone's enjoyed it.
We didn't even get onto a second or third for.
No, we didn't need to. It was fine. It's just an RTT. We're talking mainly about the winners. Do you want to talk about the second and third, Dan?
No, but I do want to say that third place had full payload on a basilisk.
What a legend! Who doesn't love
what a
full
legend.
payload on a basilisk?
I knew you would, Mikey.
I love full
Love
payload.
it.
Yeah, it's just great. That's what I want to say every day. Just like round 1, full payload. Round 2, full payload. Round 3, someone's cheating. They got double full payload.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you.
Hellstorm chat.
Yeah.
Give it to all my basilisks.
I spent 9 CP. What do you mean it says once to battle?
Yeah, what do you mean? I want to say full payload for everything.
Yeah. But yeah, so this has been the Hellstorm Wargaming Podcast. I do hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much to Danny for coming on. You've been great.
It's been a pleasure, mate.
I'm very glad you've come on. It's been really fun. Thank you very much to Jay for coming on every week. Obviously, you can check out Jay. You can check out Jay at Mohawk Miniatures at twitch.tv/Mohawk Miniatures. He streams Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sundays. I'm so good at that now.
Nailed it, brother.
We did, yeah. So we do actually have some premium questions we're going to go through before we end. That's what I remember.
Yes.
Let's get rid of this. I'll check up on the toilet paper afterwards.
Cool. So I'm going to ask a question to you guys. This is from Jamie Miller. And his question is, do you prefer the mono-faction meta, i.e. the direction we look to be heading, or the soup meta? And what do you like or dislike about both?
I personally prefer mono-faction because I feel like it's more true to the game. As in, like, you've got a codex and that's your army and that's what you've got choices of. Like, souping is designed to just, like, plug holes in the issues that you've got in your army. Like, Imperial Knights are going to take guard because they need CP, for example. I feel like
no.
I feel like sometimes it's just a bit like it's the reason we can soup is so we can be thematic, but I think sometimes you kind of lose that edge. Like in a purely competitive sense, yeah, soup all the way because it's better. But in a what I like to play, I prefer. Like you'd notice that we don't actually run soup a lot on the channel, and that's because I'm not a massive fan of it. I don't really like running soup. Plus, you got to carry loads of books about. So.
How about you, Dan?
You have to carry a load of books around as a Chaos player. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Like Chaos is just soup all over, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, even the codex for me. I mean, I would have never in a million years ran word bearers in my Chaos list, but now, well,
yeah.
If I'm going pure Chaos Space Marines for like continuing the faction challenge, it'd be crazy not to.
That strat, so good.
Yeah, they're just like a watered down. Thousand Sons, but they plug that hole where in my old list I'd be failing like Prescience and stuff like that. This is just not going to happen now. So yeah, I think even as a mono faction, I can still get away with multiple legions that still benefit, which makes Chaos Space Marines quite fun to play because it is like a big like Dark Crusade with multiple legions getting involved and stuff. Yeah. That's how I taught myself into super multiple legions anyway.
That's how you live with it, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I mean, I know technically it is, but is mixing factions, like sub-factions from one codex, like souping in the same sense? Or is it kind of like just taking units more optimized?
Yeah, I mean, I can even summon demons if I wanted to and still not break my mono faction. So.
I would consider it soup. I like mono faction the way that you did it at the original Hellstorm events and the guys at SN do it, where it is literally you pick a sub faction and that's you done.
Yeah.
I love that because then you have one element of what could very well be a much larger army full of different contingents of factions and stuff. But I like the fact that you have to take one thing and optimize your list to fulfill that chapter tactic or Knight household or whatever it is that you might be to the absolute maximum. I love the challenge in that.
Yeah, but then Grey Knights are just
the guy who asked the question, Jamie, he really wants to see me he wants me to take pure World Eaters for an event, and I'm looking at it and it's just
it's too hard, man.
I can't talk myself into it. That is mode, you need some luck as well.
Yeah, as much as I love the idea of everyone just playing one single sub faction, one single codex, it's just soup needs to be a thing for this game to be anywhere near. Wait for it.
Yeah, to get
balanced.
Any kind of out of the game, you do need to soup because there are some mono faction, literally one faction anyway. That's all they've got to draw from.
Yeah,
and you'd expect those books to be the strongest.
Yeah. So
Tau can't ally, Orcs can't ally, Necrons can't ally. Tyrannid's got Force of the Hive Mind.
True. Yeah.
But those three you'd expect to be the strongest possible codexes because they have no other gaps that they can plug with stuff from anywhere else.
Yeah. But you can see they're not really written with that intent, are they? They're just written. They're written on the same level.
Tau's pretty good.
Well, Tau are good. Yeah. But like mostly they're written in the same sense as any other codex, without soup in mind, and then soup happens, and then the game breaks. Well, they used to. Now we've seen.
You think they try to fix it with these supplements though? But now the supplements are crazy good, like Iron Hand.
I think they have. Yeah,
so
I think that's what that was. It was to force you to play a single faction. To be like, if you play this faction, like we said when we released the game, if you take one particular army and stick with it, you get better. And then they went, you get better and better and better and great and better.
No one
and
else
so
gets
much
the same
better.
kind of
Hooray.
treatment.
Hooray, yeah, just get better all the time for no reason. Hooray. Yeah, brilliant. Why don't we just FAQ the entire book? Hooray. Print it out.
Well, they could FAQ the entire book, or they could just essentially do another rules reset, which is the second part of Jamie. Do you think GW will and or should do another rules reset like 8th early indexes at any point? Or is the standard codex release better for the casual side and the competitive side? I think that the dawning of 8th edition shook everything up, but it didn't necessarily do so in the cleanest fashion.
No.
There was a lot of things that happened at the very start that you're like, well, I just can't do this at all. And this book makes no sense whatsoever because this doesn't work.
Yeah. I don't think a hard reset like 8 should happen for a long time now.
In the ideal world, it shouldn't ever happen again.
Yeah, because the game's good. The game works. Sorry, Dan, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, I think they just need like the core box set, which is so dated. Is it Dark Imperium?
Yeah.
That does need a reboot. I mean, whether it's just rules get tidied up with all the chapter approves and stuff like that.
Yeah, even if they just took the FAQs and stuff and compiled it into a document. I mean, it's going to be outdated within, say, 6 months anyway, because there's going to be another FAQ or another interaction that gets cleared up, but it needs to happen.
Yeah, I think the core rules need rewriting. But I don't think, when I consider a hard reset, I mean invalidate every single publication you've released. What they need to do is bring out 8.5, for example, that everyone calls it. Essentially, if anyone's been playing long enough, what happened between 6th edition and 7th edition, they took 6th edition, tidied up a lot of the wording, rewrote all the special rules, and put them in a rule book and called it 7th edition.
Yeah.
And that was the game that everyone's playing. They were playing an abridged version of 6.5. That's 6, sorry. And that's what they need to do with 8th. They need to bring out a new edition, call it Warhammer 40k 2, call it 9th edition, call it anything you like, but essentially needs to be the same edition, just rewritten to be a more cleaner format where it doesn't need an FAQ to answer the question. It needs to be written in a way that actually makes sense. And that's not a bad thing. That's fine. £35 for a new book. Everyone has the same one. Everyone starts afresh. It's kind of the same, but not really. Same but different.
Same but different. I knew it was coming.
But also allow all the codexes to be current and stay in line with the actual rule set. Like what you saw with Age of Sigmar, right? They brought out the game, they released a rule book, and then they were like, okay, this is how you play AOS, and now we're going to release new AOS. It's technically not called AOS 2, but everyone calls it AOS 2. We're essentially the same game, but they've clarified stuff and just changed minor things. For example, in there they brought in the unit thing, where basically after morale, you look at your unit, and if it's in 2 halves, you have to pick one of the halves that stays alive, and the other one runs away. For example, they added stuff like that.
So good.
Which is not like a brand new edition, but it changes how the game works quite fundamentally. For example,
if they did that in 40k, it would stop everyone taking casualties out of the middle of the plague bearers stretching 70 inches across the board, which is a plus.
Well, yeah, but that means people playing plague bearers, which they're not doing, Jay. For at least another month.
Orc boys.
Yeah,
85
exactly.
Intercessors.
Yeah.
Pick your poison, right?
Yeah, exactly. But that changed the game, but it didn't change how the game worked. It changed how the game worked, but it didn't change the game. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's the same game, just slightly modified. So that's what I think they should do. And then eventually redo all of the codexes over the next 4 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Release a new Space Marine codex, because they are the cover boys. They are going to get a new codex before another faction. Sadly, I'm sorry. They're going to get 2 codexes.
They already have.
They're going to get 2 codexes, another one before someone else gets a new one. Okay, I'm sorry. But that's what happens, because they are the main cover faction. They'll be the most up-to-date codex on the market most of the time. If there's a new rule set, but we'll see. What are your hopes and expectations for Forge World rule set? Don't nerf my Leviathan into the ground. Don't
nerf my Chaos Leviathan into the ground just because they're so good for Imperials.
Get rid of lightning locks, and yeah, be all right.
Okay, the first thing that needs to happen is the Chaplain Dreadnought kit needs to be picked up and thrown in the bin.
Yeah, I agree.
That's done. That's finished. Lightning locks are decent, but they don't need to be gotten rid of by any stretch of imagination. Chaplain Dread's definitely legended. I think the Chaos version of Leviathan actually leads a very slight buff to bring it in line with the Imperial version of Leviathan.
Yeah, just make it the same.
There you go,
But
Danny, there's
angrier.
one for you.
But angrier.
I'll be happy. AP -2. Oh.
No. You don't get that. You don't get that. Because put your cannons to strength 8, so you can keep that.
Make it the same. Strength 7.
But then you'd
2,
get
2
all the
damage.
Chaos edgy boys that, are very angry at the fact that they're now the same as basic Marines and they're just getting the Marine treatment, and they'll call it something dumb like the Sins of Haynes or something. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Forgewood rules reset. You could probably sort out some of the named greater demons, the alphabet demon, and all that sort of stuff, because they just got price hikes that were not necessary.
Yeah, alphabet
it's not worth 1,500 points.
Might actually be okay.
Super Chicken was gross.
Yeah, but she might be okay at like 800 points now.
Yeah,
like 900 points. Okay, we'll take one. Why not?
That's me.
But yeah, they just need to just rewrite a lot of the stuff. Like the named characters, like Lias Isidon, for example, he's so broken for Raptors, but like because he's so old, he just works so well in these supplements. Just get rid of him. Get rid of him, or rewrite and release a model for him.
And then a lot of it's just tidying up wording for stuff because they've used slightly different Games Workshop have used, so the rules sound different but actually should work the same, but are interpreted differently and cause arguments.
Yeah,
just homogenize
and like,
a lot.
Why is the Chaos Twin Heavy Bolt a 48 inch range?
Because Chaos.
Exactly, it doesn't make sense. It's just clearly a typo that they can't be able to fix. So that's what it needs. They just need to make everything on par with what's in the 40k codexes. Like they've done it with Knights, they've done it with Custodies now. Everything else needs to just catch up. So John says, one of the Johns coming to Hellstorm 5, one of the 5 Johns. By the way, we're gonna have a best John award. Dark Angels, hapless victims of a nerf that was meant for Iron Hands and Pure Fists.
I don't think it matters. I know it's going to piss off a lot of Dark Angel players, but I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I don't think the Dark Angel Super Doctrine was that great anyway. Like, oh, you get an extra 6 inch range.
So for the turn that you're furthest away from your opponent,
you're actually a little bit closer.
You get longer range. The next turn when they're closer, you get less range. That bit, I don't think anyone's really crying about. But the fact you then lose the additional -1 AP on your heavy weapons, obviously hurts.
Yeah,
I get it. I totally understand, guys. You feel like you've been shortchanged. Oh, we had our buff for a month. It's going to suck. But for any of us that didn't play Power Armor, no one is feeling sorry for you. I'm sorry. That's just the way.
Yeah. It's a bit of a shame, really. It's like, it's annoying when you have a rule and you have it snatched away again, because it's like, why have I had this taken off me? Because I'm not that guy who's want to go into every tournament winning it, but it's like, it's so oppressive, like, for everyone who's trying to compete.
Mikey, how long did you have your Blood Ravens stuff in the White Dwarf?
Exactly, yeah, like the Blood Ravens White Dwarf. Bearing in mind, like...
But we did hear you whinging about that for quite some time, though, so maybe...
Yeah, like bearing in mind that the chapter tactic was you couldn't be winning on better than a 3+, and you reroll once to cast, which is actually 2 successor traits. The Waller trait is set from the Codex, so I've still got that. The Relic, which is a bolt pistol, Purgatorus, is in the Codex as well as a relic. And the Stratagem, which was to turn one of your librarians into a chief librarian, is in Faith and Fury. Yeah. So, bearing in mind that I could still technically build the Blood Ravens chapter as it was, I did only have it for 2 weeks. Which was utter bullshit, right? Actual bullshit. Literally, well, it wasn't 2 weeks, it was 4 weeks, I apologise. It was 2 weeks after it got released, the Space Marine Codex came out. Then 2 weeks later, the FAQ came out and then said, "Don't use this book. Use the Codex." So, in real terms, like realistically, it didn't care. It actually opened up doors because now Blood Ravens can use any successive chapter and use Gabriel Angelos, which is really cool.
True.
But technically, it got written out like a month after it came out. Like, but I only spent £4, so who cares? Like, I've got a cool magazine, great.
Yeah,
I want to know how many editions of White Dwarf Sega version they sold because of that, though.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Like, I bought one. I don't even play Marines.
Yeah, it's just so bizarre. But yeah, I totally appreciate where John's coming from. It's just really annoying when especially when it's an FAQ, like not even like a new codex or something. It's like an FAQ that just goes, "Here's a white sheet of paper. Now you're rubbish again. Enjoy. See you in 3 years. See you in 3 years, boys." I mean, so I totally appreciate that.
So we got more questions from the premium group. This is from Brett Castles. With the recent Space Marines FAQ and nerf, previous classic meta lists and or units, do you think will make a resurgence? Aggressors. I don't think they ever were in, but they're coming back.
Does this mean with Space Marine lists, or does it mean with other lists that Space Marines now aren't oppressing?
All lists. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
So Dan, have you got any thoughts on this?
Not at the moment, mate. No, I'm having to think.
Okay. I think any list with vehicles in is going to have a great time.
Dark Eldar are coming back strong because suddenly they don't die to 3 bolt gun shots from a heavy bolter.
Yeah, those Venom.
Which was just super harsh. Thunderfires aren't killing 1.5 every time it shoots. I know it only shoots at one target, but it really kills that target.
But the Thunderfire's hitting on like 0 ballistic skill as well, so even the minus for the Venoms was just being ignored.
They were still hitting on 2s, so it was becoming 3s. With, but then you're wounded on 4s out of an average of 8 shots. So of 8 shots,
but with the Tech Marine, you're hitting on 2.
You're likely to hit 7.
With the Master of the Forge Tech Marine, you make them a BS.
Oh, if you take the Master of the Forge.
Yeah, you make them BS 1+ for the hit on ones.
Why do you make them BS 1+?
Because you add to
it adds BS. 1 to the hit rolls rather than
it adds 1 to their BS, so they've got BS 1.
There you go.
So AP -1 is just still 2.
Yeah.
And then
so you're gonna get 3 hits through, even after invuln saves on average dice. Sorry, 3 wounds through, which means that they're gonna die.
6 damage. Yeah. So you're gonna see Dark Eldar. You're also gonna see light vehicle.
I think Eldar are going to make a massive resurgence because what did we just see at the Glasshammer GT that we talked about earlier on?
Just MSU vehicles.
Yeah, Shining Spears, piloted by Ben Jones, came in strong. 3 units of those. They came back in force.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of things that are really maneuverable.
Not Faith and Fury, Blood and Phoenix.
I'm excited to see more sisters coming on as well.
No.
I'm not, because they're gross and they're horrible and that book should burn.
Too good. Don't like it.
Oh, God, for those of you that don't know, wait till you play a Sisters Army and then listen. You thought it was... Anytime someone's ever played AdMech for the first time and gone, are you sure that sounds right? That doesn't sound right. It sounds like you that roll up. Just wait.
Just wait till you read the book. Yeah, it's just horrific. Yeah. So we're going to see a lot of old vehicle lists come back. I'm just trying to think of a list. I had a list on my mind that I was going to say after Dan said something. And then I forgot. Terrible.
Okay.
No, it's gone.
Well, we'll move on to the second half of Brett's question. It's a bit of a wish listing question. Should a new edition drop in summer? Heavily rumoured. What changes would you like to see? I'd like a rule book that isn't a pamphlet. That's the only thing I want from 9th edition.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to get a pamphlet.
Yeah, I'm really sad about that.
What I want to see is the ITC mission pack printed in there. I'm kidding. Sit down, everyone.
We're playing Eternal War, Mission 6. What's it? Crucible of Champions.
Oh yeah, that's a great mission.
5 objectives. Yes.
What would I like to say? I just like the game tidied up, to be honest. And I'd actually like some of the more janky shit where you can like. I know it's gonna upset close combat armies, but where you like charge something and then don't charge something else and then wrap around it, it always feels bad. Always feels bad.
Yeah,
like
it does.
Stop letting me do that. I do it all the time, but stop letting me charge a unit and wrap around another unit so I can't hit it.
Yeah,
and then.
But that interaction has come about by the game being all about guns. Prior to the first big FAQ. Close combat was doing really, really well, and then that came out where you suddenly couldn't deep strike in turn 1. There was a lot of other things that you couldn't do anymore, and that was it for close combat armies. Yeah. You needed to do things like that, try pointing, wrap, and trap, all that to get ahead.
like wrapping around a unit that you're in combat with isn't so much feel bad, but it's when you charge, when you got like a big unit of 30 bloodletters or whatever, you charge in. There's a unit of scouts and another unit of scouts. They're next to each other. You wrap around. You charge one of the scouts. You don't charge the other one, and then you wrap around the other one. It always feels bad, and it's like so frustrating when it happens. And it's very much, against probably what the intention of the rule was, where you can't hit something that you didn't charge.
I had someone trying to tell me that they weren't going to attack me at deceitful allies. They weren't going to use any attacks against me. I'm sure that's not the right way. However, I'm about to just tie the traitors, these cultists, in my turn. So do whatever you want, pal. I'm just going to move them anyway and shoot your stuff.
Yeah,
wow, I'd say that was very deceitful.
And not an ally. But yeah, it's an annoying rule, and I wonder if they'll address some stuff like that. And they just need to tidy everything up, like, flies, always an aircraft, or just like an FAQ. And it's just like, man, there's a 4-page rules document, 25 pages of FAQ. Like, just make it a 6-page rules document and have done with it. Write it properly. I know they meant to. That was the idea.
To having a rule book. I mean, you could make it 16 pages, so you've got room for examples, and then you can just put some pictures in there that give you a legit example of this is what your movement phase looks like. This is what your shooting phase looks like. It doesn't need to take up a lot of space, and you'll get so many less dumb questions. What I'd really like to see for 9th edition is they hire 2 copywriters that proofread stuff, and that ideally are complete bastards, so that they'll read it and go, but what you've written is this, and what you meant is this.
Yeah.
So this is what you should write.
Yeah. I think the problem is they write the rules with blinkers on. Essentially, they've got they write rules like this, and they're like, "Hey,
isolation.
What's my name?" It's a rules writer.
Tim.
Hi, my name's Tim. Jerry, will you check this rule for me? Oh yes, Tim. That rule is very cool because that's intended for my Space Marine to chop something up with his chainsaw. I like it. Let's write that. And then they write it and they go, oh no, what have we done? Why do they read the rule like this? Oh wait, that's because we wrote it. I get the feeling
that the GW's rule is a figure. I don't know why.
It just seems like that happens all the time. It's just like, okay, Tim, I wrote a really cool rule. My intention is, I don't know. I can't think of an example off the top. I'm not really.
However, I don't play 40k that much. So when I do play,
I don't mean that.
Brilliant.
I imagine that 40k rules writers I reckon they play a lot of 40k, but they do not play. How can I beat my opponent so hard he goes home and cries to his mum? 40k type 40k that we play. You know what I mean? It's like when I write a list 40k for competitive good Warhammer, I'm looking at every way that I can stop my opponent doing anything at all. Don't want him to move. Don't want him to shoot. Don't want him to charge me. Right? When they play 40k, there is a smash in the middle, and each army warlord runs in head first, like it's like the cool thing.
And they even shake hands at the beginning of the game and say, "I'm gonna let my."
I'm not sure.
I bet they do that too.
I don't know what you
CJ
said.
and I did that at Hellstorm 2. We said our warlords, no matter
Danny,
what goes on in the game, have to go into the middle of the board and have a duel. And my Chaos Lord strung his Archon from the rafters.
Yeah.
That's not a fair fight at all.
But that's why I imagine.
Let's get to a 2-up import, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I
fail it 1 out of 6 times. You've got 8 attacks.
That's what I imagine they play Warhammer, and that's fine if they want to play Warhammer like that. That's really cool. The problem is you're releasing a game that you wrote to be competitive. That's why there's match play in the rulebook.
Yep.
You're releasing that to a bunch of people that don't want their opponents to have a fun time. They want them to lose, and that's all they want. And I think sometimes that's an issue. So what I'd like to see is 9th edition to have more ways for my opponent to lose without having fun. You heard it here
when
first.
I said they needed to hire a complete bastard, I've got a few names I can forward right now.
Starts with an M, ends in bastard.
Yeah.
Alec Hughes says cool ideas for a Space Marine close combat unit. Something with a sword and shield, so they can run into the middle and have a great time.
Space Wars, everyone, just to annoy tank.
Exactly that. You should have these dudes that are big strapping lads that are so big they don't wear half their long shaggy hair, beards, and probably a big mallet in one hand and a big shield on the other arm. I reckon
And
that
call
would
them
be super
Centurions,
sick.
so only Space Marines can use them.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, there you go. I think that's all of the premium questions. Any more to add, lads? We ever ran by another 45 minutes, but there you go.
What did you guys think of Death of Hope?
I really enjoyed Death of Hope. I watched that with Georgie the other night. Have you seen it?
I have. Yeah.
So what I'm going to say...
It's full of world eaters. I loved it.
What I'm going to say is, this is a 3D animation done by a guy in his bedroom, and I think it's really good.
I think if you look at it in isolation as what this guy's achieved is nothing short of staggering.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
But I thought it was a bit shy.
You didn't like it?
Yeah,
What didn't you like about it?
I know it's part 1, and it seems like it's going to be a long, drawn-out epic series, which is amazing. And I imagine they're all done.
Did you not like the story, Jay?
Be buzzing my ass off. But I was really freaked out by the woman holding the baby.
Oh,
like,
mate,
yeah,
that was so good.
That was just like, oh god, this is just grim.
This is
not loving that.
That is grim in the dark right there.
That is.
You can't
40K.
say that. The other channel says that.
That is 40K all over. That was like Dead Space to me. That was just like, oh my. When you're looking at it, she's like, sorry, spoiler alert for Death of Hope. Go watch it. 20 minutes long. And she's holding the baby. I'm like, oh god, that's so bad. Dead baby.
Yeah.
And then you see it's all fused to her, and her hands are just like
fused to her.
Yeah. And the baby's tried to scratch its face. Its hand is fused.
Yeah.
It's gross. It's horrible. That was really well done. But that creeped me.
And then I watched the trailer. Again because my girlfriend Georgie wanted to watch it, so I was like, we watched the episode, then watched the trailer, and she's in it, and the baby's crying, and she's running past all these Space Marines, right? So the trailer's really cool. They're like battling each other, and they're like chopping each other, and there's like an Ultramarine with one arm tearing up some word bearers. So cool. And then there's a woman who's like dodging them, and she's got a baby in her arms like this, and it's like, no.
Everyone here has seen Hot Fuzz, and you know the bit in Hot Fuzz where Nick says to Simon Pegg, police work is great. You know, I'm missing out on these things, the action and shit. It says police work's not all action and shit, and that's what I felt about Death of Hope. It's not all action and shit, and I really wanted it to be. I wanted to see exactly that: Space Marines fighting, the Gladiator dude who's like nailed to the wall. That's basically Two-Face. I thought that's really sick.
His lips ripped off,
and there's nothing else to it.
Was it an Ultramarine?
So I'm waiting for the next one. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because he's got his Ultramarine tattoo here in the middle of his forehead is one of the banners from Forge World.
There you go. Are you guys on iTunes?
Quite like
we are on iTunes.
Hound.
We're nearly done as well.
Yeah. My favourite thing in the entire part of it was the metal statue of the Bloodletter in the hallway. I thought that was banging.
The old style, old school. That was really cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I know the storyline was really loose. There wasn't like much to it. There's no character progression or anything, but it's like, I was just enjoying the visuals and enjoying what was going on. I was just like, I'm all of it. I'm all over it. It's really cool. So
well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and I'm sure I will really get involved. But it just didn't quite grab me.
Because I've seen because it's such a big thing. Because that trailer got 1.5 million views, which is humongous in this sort of niche hobby. Like I've seen a lot of people saying that they really didn't enjoy it. It's really crap. It was really hyped up to be nothing and stuff like that. But I'm just like, this is a guy, someone like me, someone like you, sat in their bedroom who just so happens to know how to use some cool software and got their friends together to record them voice. And I think that's really epic. Like this is just a guy in his bedroom making it. It's not like a big production team. That is better than anything.
Spectacular.
Yeah, as a piece of art, as like a piece of work, that is amazing, and that's why I really liked it. So, like the storyline could be crap. I don't even care. It's like it's 30k Space Marines walking about, and that woman.
So freaky.
It's so freaky, yeah. So make sure you go check that out. Obviously, the other animated series that's really big at the minute is the Starties, which is one of, I think, world's favourite for some reason. It's basically the same as Death of Hope, but less grimdark and just dark.
The Marine that's pegging it down the corridor. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's really cool. So make sure you go watch both of those. They're really fun. I think that is it, though. We've gone on some tangents. I'm actually enjoying the crap talking more than I am the competitive part of the podcast these days. And I think everyone else is as well. I don't know.
Well, see, like I said, let us know what you'd like to see on episode 32.
Yeah.
The end. ... Question mark.
Yeah. So we are having a Hellstorm Wargaming Podcast is over party next week. Because I know I've kind of gone on tangents today. We were quite focused, but sadly, I don't think the podcast is growing too much. And I feel like if I tell people that I'm concerned about it, we might hear some good feedback, because the podcast on iTunes and stuff isn't getting as many. It's getting hits, but it's not growing. It's kind of steady, and then the YouTube is steady. It doesn't get very much interaction. And I'm not sure if people are just enjoying it, or just listening, or just not bothered, and that's what we're trying to work out. So, that concept of Starties start slow. I hope Death of Hope picks up part 3 or 4 of the Starties. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we've waited 2 years for part 1. When's part 2 come in? That's everyone's question, isn't it? Always everyone's question. Which should be interesting.
We want more.
We always want more, yeah. So, thank you, Dan.
Yeah, cheers, dude.
Thank you, Jay. We went on a bit of a ramble. We did a 2-hour ramble, but there you go. Thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in. Obviously, you can check out Jay at twitch.tv/Mohawk Miniatures on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. You can watch his stream, go to support him. You can support us by subscribing on Twitch. You can do donations. You can check out our GoFundMe. So thank you very much, everyone who's donated so far. We are over halfway. We're technically over £1,000 because we've had some offside donations via PayPal and stuff like that, which is really cool. So thank you very much for that. That camera for live coverage is going to be absolutely amazing.
It's going to be massive.
Which would be really cool. And you can listen to the podcast on Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes as well. You can watch it back on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook too, as usual. Tune in next week for the live podcast is over party, where we're going to be talking about who could win this full-size chainsword. I can be the Ultramarine with one arm and chop people up, which would be really fun. This is a full-size chainsword. We've also got a full-size bolt gun that's got masking tape attached to it. That's going to be won next week. Is there anything else you need to say?
No, not at all, man.
Oh, me.
Looking forward to seeing you folks all next week, though, for definite.
Really good.
And,
one last
keep
thing.
washing your hands. Corona.
Keep washing your hands. The objective markers are now back in stock because everyone's been asking. There's loads and loads of sets, so if you're interested in them, make sure to check them out. Otherwise, thank you very much for listening. We're going to go raid someone, and so join in on Twitch for that raid. It should be really fun. Thank you very much. I love you all. We'll see you next week, and good night.
Peace out.
Bye, guys.